Yesterday at 1500 hours, a convoy was attacked passing through Asara's eastern transport hub. Survivors confirmed the attack was perpetrated by the Asara Guard. This is the third attack this month. Residents and merchants in the area were already panicking. Hamka, one of the leaders of the Asara Guard, is our prime suspect. He operates east of Zaltiva and has been extremely active lately. We have reason to believe that he is trading stolen supplies with an unknown party in exchange for arms. You need to find out what he's planning. At dawn, recon drones sighted Hamka in a fishing village near Zaltiva. Get there, find and neutralize Hamka ASAP. The village is unusually quiet today. Watch out. Don't fall prey to an ambush.
Take out the intruder! Chivalry garage! What the? Target down! Go for it!
Beware of hostile suicide vehicles.
For Hunter! Fire out! Take them out! Something's wrong there!
This bridge is vital for transit. If the bridge is blown, we'll lose our reinforcements. Disarm those bombs, now!
Stop them! Go! Full throttle!
All bombs are disarmed. Good job.
Fire! Pull them back!
A Havoc heli? What's it doing in Asara Guard territory?
Our vehicle needs to be fixed! Loser, over here! RPG! Take them! Taking damage! Fire! Fire! Blast them! Now! Come on! Almost dead!
Admit defeat, rookie. Give it to me.
What? How do you think about it? You don't know what you're doing. Give it back.
There, look down on me. Give it to me.
Looks like it's my turn.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching around the world. Welcome back. It's time for the grand finals of the Delta Force Community Tournament Operations Mode. My name's Taffies. I'm joined by Lawler. It's been a journey. We started with Operations. We went yesterday to this incredible War Mode, and then we're back here for Operations. The pace will be very different, Adam. How are you feeling today?
Dude, feeling absolutely fantastic. Excited to sink my teeth into some grand finals, and I think you hit the nail on the head, dude. Very much different in the pace, not only from yesterday, but just from the first time we saw these guys in the semifinals. Sure. This is the creme de la creme. These are the best of the best, man, and a little bit of a surprise on top of that, but I don't want to jump the gun too quickly here. So, man, feeling great. Looking forward to getting into the action.
Yep, absolutely. Now, I will say, if you guys watched EU earlier today, you might be aware that it's going to get a little bit wonky today, because at the end of the day, what matters is getting that big money for first place. And so if teams start strong, they could just play spoiler for a couple of matches, maybe camp it out. It's going to be, I want you, as you prepare for tonight, to think chess, all right? Not action sports. This is going to be a little bit slower, a little bit more like, you know, when you watch like a title fight for boxing and it's a 15 round and they sort of, that middle section is very slow and deliberate. I expect that to happen here. But let's talk about the tournament rules. You want to walk me through this just a little bit?
Yeah, for those that aren't joining us since the beginning, pretty straightforward. Just a couple days ago, we had our semifinals. We had a bunch of teams in groups, 6 in particular, teams of 3 battling, and whoever performed the best in those operation modes ended up getting into the grand finals. So we had the best of the best is here joining us, the best team from Group A, the best team from Group B, so on and so forth. And then one surprise invited team we'll reveal here shortly. At the end of the day, the game mode is the same, though. You have 25 minutes, complete this mission, and extract as much money as possible. Get the most value as possible out. Difficulty, though, is if you don't make it out, no money for you.
No money for you. And we saw, honestly, we got to the 4th game, I think, in Europe, and there were still teams that hadn't gotten anything on the board because it is so difficult to get out of some of these maps. Now, we will be playing Space City and Breesh exclusively, which means that these are the maps that have limited extract positions, have a really tough fight at those sort of helipads. So expect to see that kicking off all day today as teams have to decide, do I strategically go out there and loot in peace, or do I lock down a strategic spot and let the loot come to me, because we did see teams doing that last time as well as a little bit today. So, Adam, if you're looking at that paycheck, you're looking at how you came into this one, do you think that sort of go out, loot, and then find your way to an extract, or do you try to go to extracts and like lock them down early and make sure that you have a way out no matter what?
I mean, I think the teams in this section, the NA portion, have a big advantage because they did get to see how the top teams performed over in EU. I think that's a massive, massive insight into the way people are approaching it. But reality is you got here for a reason, and I would like to assume that people have their play style or their decision making based upon what they've done in the past. So I assume people are still going to be assertive. I think people are going to enact their style of play. But primarily, I do think you do bring up a good point of it being a little bit of chess. I don't think you can just recreate exactly what you did in the semifinals and be like, yeah, we're fine. Like, these teams all glaring victories in the amount they were able to extract. And some of that, even in itself, is just right place, right time, and finding that special little extra valuation of, you know, whatever item that happened to just be in that locker. Or, you know, some of these things are worth like 4 million. You're like, okay, that's more than that entire team's had in 2 games. Like, you never know. So obviously a lot of teams, but we're down to 6. If you want to kind of talk about the ones that came out on top, and we can go from there.
I mean, that's who matters. You're looking at everybody who played, and we want to give a shout out. It's a community tournament. I love everyone who signed up. Everybody who played said they had a great time. The guys at the top, Comeback Kids, Mate and Factura, Endless, Grota, and E-Zone will be taking the field of battle here. Say what?
They bamboozled us. Production threw a little tricky one in there. It's
what they did?
Bottom of Group D. It's Tropa de Maguire.
Tropa done flipped it on us. So Tropa is passing through, not Grota. The guys from Grota were watching like, what? Log on. Sorry, guys. My bad. Tropa made it through, so that is who will be playing as Diga. I'm glad you caught that little swippy swap. But a lot of these teams, particularly we saw Comeback Kids putting in some really good holds and surviving fight after fight where we didn't expect them to. Mate and Factura had a very strategic style of play. Really not shocking to see. Actually, oh no. Sorry, Mate and Factura didn't make it either. It's Team Squidward that made the advance. So Team Squidward is going in for Group B. They were the ones that had, what was that, Sing Sing and Vane? Those guys were insane.
Yeah, the difficulty is, like, we talk about everybody, and, like, sure, these definitely felt like the favorites, like, out of the gate. Like, they played very methodical, very surgical in their decision making, but there was also some other things that enabled teams to win. Like, I look at Group C with Endless, and, like, the play that sticks out was Kurai and Kujo, or however you say his name. There should be a J, but it's a Z, and it bugs me. But the way that they played is, like, they had one guy on Rocket who was trying to extract. His teammate beelines from the entire opposite side, causes a little bit of disruption. It's enough for his teammate to get away scot-free. So it's like they get a 4 million extraction, and that's enough to create that gap of separation. And then there isn't enough time for the other team to actually go back to the other extraction point and get out. So it's like, not only was it, like, massive for their increase, but it double downs and completely denies the team. And it's like, that is a difference maker in them making it and not. So there's been some pretty cool storylines. There's been some teams, though. I think we look at the E-Zone boys.
I haven't seen them yet.
Dude.
Yeah, but we haven't
domination.
seen them. That's what's exciting for me for E-Zone, right? Because they were dominating all the stats. Every game we went back to, we watched Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. Every time we were like, wow, look at that E-Zone stats. And we never got to watch them live. So the fact that we now get to see them in the field of battle, I'm excited because these guys, Like they put the tag on their names. They have an org. Like these guys are clearly here to grind at them, and so this is a great chance for them, especially because Team 6, we won't tell you who they are just yet, but they are a team with some well-known players. So this is a good chance to get, I think, a little extra press out there. If you are truly driven to go the distance here, any of that press at this early release of a game is a very big deal.
Yeah, it should be a lot of excitement, but we've obviously been talking about some of our favorite moments, but it's even better is I think production has put together a little daily highlights package for y'all if we want to go take a look.
Decides to smoke and fall back. Top of the stairs, goes to the spray, can't get it. The trade is there, though. It's fight to break out as it looks like the fight is finally happening. Candace opens fire, gets one, has to duck back down. Woo!
Again, the 1v2.
Oh, they tried to stop the push. He tried to dive him. The smoke to relocate, picks off an off angle on the right side, trying to figure out what to do. They can definitely hear him running as the rotation happens. Viz falls back, takes a ton of damage from the grenade. He goes down and opens the door for the comebacks. Nice spray to take one. The vault, the run, the smoke, not going to be quite enough.
Not going to connect. Again, if I'm the other team, I'm playing aggressive.
Yep. Looks like they're coming forward. biiger trying to make a play, gets the knock.
Again, Zeta's got good shots.
You need the advantage.
Hey,
yes.
There it is. Well played.
I shouldn't cheer for anybody, but I just love that the person who's at a disadvantage.
Let's find an angle to hold. Will it come back?
Wow. Accuracy through volume, my friend.
Hey, he's able to get one, but now need to be careful.
Ooh.
Got one pushing from one side, one from the other.
He's still 3/4 health. All of that. Oh, never mind.
I think too, it also helps with the engagement and the vision a little bit. Oh, he is going to speak. Oh, what a
zoomer angles.
I'm trying to think. So they have their 3K. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
All time that scope.
That's
came in
that
handy.
scope.
Oh, there's an angle. And he's only able to get away with murder. I do think Busset's does have the ability to hold.
Oh, I love that push.
That's a great way to do it. Now's your chance to close it out. They're not going to be able to get the heal off.
Oh, no.
Can they find the other?
There it is.
Do. Well played. That's it.
I read numbers. I see 5.7. I push light. Oh, no. He was unprepared. That P90 is getting a lot of love over here on Unity.
Doesn't.
Force them down the stairs. Oh, the jump attack. Oh, maybe way back down. Oh,
Your toes. Your toes.
Oh, did you leave your little toesies out? Did you see that hold on the left side? Yeah. That's dirty. Robot, you dirty boy.
We saw in Europe earlier too, where they set up like, what a shot. Oh, he's flexing now?
No. No what? I'm gonna be honest. I got caught up in the highlights and was shocked back into the fact that we're working when the producer was like, "Hey, let's go back to scoreboards." I was like, "Oh, those shots were really good. Those peaks, those angles, the toesies, and also the comeback kids. We saw a lot of them in that highlight reel because out of Group A, they just played. I mean, look at that number, 17 million, so much better than everybody else, and they did it by fighting the whole time, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking almost double the kills of the next team in line, and it's difficult when. We try to talk about comparisons, right? When there's so many different teams, you're talking across the board. And when you're in a group, the only thing that you can control is your own result, right? Like, as much as I want to compare the #1 team coming into the grand finals from Group A, Group B, Group C, it's like I can't. It's a different lobby. It's a different environment. But what I can say objectively is 31 kills, 17 million in value extracted. Yeah. Like, that is, to me, a statement of all statements. Now, I try to walk that back a little bit because we immediately then go to Group B and say, okay, you've got 3 teams, all with over 14 kills, all with a bunch of, like, maybe that was maybe a bit more of a one-sided type of group. Like, I don't know specifically, but I'm so excited to find out on how these teams really stack up against each other because B was super competitive throughout.
But I mean, it's also biiger was very competitive, but kept losing fights. Maiden Factura, if I remember correctly, they had like one massive game, right? That netted almost that full 8 million off of one. So whereas Team Squidward had like one bad game and sort of ground their way, they played a little more creative with how they did their extracts. But I do think you're right. There was more contest. I think what we saw at the Comeback Kids though is because they played so aggressively, there was very rarely a chance that like you got to have a Maiden Factura kind of game, because everybody who did manage to get out that wasn't them was limping badly because of the way that they played. Group C, Endless walked away with the win there. And I would say a pretty dominant win compared to the rest of the lobby when you talk about valuation, but they were a much lower kill-based team. This is that sneak away we saw with Kurai and Kujo did that sort of 1-2 up at the launch pad, right?
Yeah, in contrast to what we saw was like very decisive fights. I commend Endless because they were able to sustain fights. Like there was a moment where it's like you're fighting a 1v3. You've got another team that's hearing all this that's coming to third party, and you're still able to fend it off because of the positioning you take, the way you use your utility with your smokes. You saw the shot that was through the like railing and stuff. That was one of the guys from Endless that picked one off. So not only were they good job at sustaining enough time to, you know, get the extraction, which is the ultimate goal, but to buy time for your teammate to get over there. You had two players fighting 1v3 different squads, and then they came together and it was enough to work together. Like, again, a lot of credit was done as we take a look at the Group D standings.
All right, Group D standings. It's going to be Tropa di Miguera, I hope. That is going to be in first place, 12 kills. They got 12 million in damage in valuation. This one I feel was pretty tight. I know when we watched D, it looked like it was really kind of up in the air. We saw some great plays coming out of Merc. We saw some great plays coming out of Grota. So that's one of those groups where I think Tropa could really come in here and do some super big damage. And we saw that one game, they were in the highlight reel, how Robot was holding angles. Void was literally locking down anyone who tried to push them. They got tested to get here, and I think that's going to make them stronger in the grand final.
Yeah, this is the play at the tail end, too, with the MDK. You see those two kills. We saw him kind of peeking down that long alleyway, and he got the two at the very end, and then the toesies. Right after the toesies happened, he was a solo. Their team actually sent people to extract early, and then he played spoiler, picked up to deny the other, like, really crazy stuff as we'll go into Group E then. The final one, E-Zone, we talked about their dominance, 19 million in valuation. 20 kills total, but Lime with like a 10 alone is not something to slouch at.
I mean, and that's not a bad lineup. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen Vibin play. I think I know Pleb. Like these guys are not slouch players. So the fact that E-Zone came out and did what they did, either they got.
What I'm reading in chat.
What is the top?
Apparently in one of the modes, Cooch loaded in naked. He forgot, so they had to wipe some PvE and then pick up whatever they had and go from there. So understandably why they were a little bit separated and just trying to figure things out on the fly.
But also understandable that they said your gear sucks and your gun's crap. Go hold the back angle. So if I get pushed, you slow the guys down. Like they were smart, worked with what they had. Overall standings though, let's go over it real quick because E-Zone looking good. Comeback Kids down from there. And I think you're right. It can't be a direct comparison, but Endless to E-Zone. Two very different styles of play. One kill heavy, one very much about strategy. I can't wait to see how they compare here in the same lobby.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see how these all play out. Obviously, we do have the overall standings and the general list of how people performed. And that was kind of the conversation pieces. We saw, based upon valuation and how people performed, multiple names from the same group. So does that mean that group has a really, really solid representation? Or is it just a matter of that this other team was just so far ahead that it didn't even matter? That's what I'm excited to find out, because Comeback Kids, Squidward, and the rest, obviously Vayne and those guys put up a fight.
There's our secret team.
Yeah, secret team, not a secret anymore. Shoutouts to Tuna Team 6. Obviously Jason to Steel Team. Maybe the more sophisticated version. I don't know.
They pays a lot more when you catch them. Tuna Team 6 going to be Deadly Slob, Bunkai, and Stop Shooting Me. Deadly Slob, a very experienced extraction player, going to be leading that team, I would assume, as they jump into the fray. Though I got to be honest, I think the fact that the other 5 teams have had a little bit of time and gotten the reps with the... Okay, so for you guys watching at home, just as a quick update for the rules, yes, they got to play. They got to get out with the valuation, but this is not what you would see in a pub. Our players are be giving elite tickets, basically. So they get preset loadouts to go in with that are not the typical oranges, the big bullets, the sponges that you see when you play in a pub game. These players have to kind of work with what they're given, figure out which of those 3 loadouts they want to run, and then adjust their strategy accordingly. We saw teams doing that, right? We saw players who had higher body armor be using as blocks. people getting the higher ammo and trying to swapping them around if they needed to. Because those tickets, it seems like it's been a little more of an even game where it's really based on skill and sort of gun management.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is going to be exciting to just see how the adaptation comes from what these guys have been provided, right? Like, we know there are some that have been very, very generous about the way they've gone about it, in the sense of like, I don't want any advantages. I'm going to just only use what I've been provided. I'm going to come in fresh with no extra love, because they have had essentially 48 hours now to put time and effort into getting additional gear. But some people are kind of doing gentleman's agreement. They're just firm handshakes. They're like, I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to come in blind and treat it that way. I was watching Deadly Slob a little bit earlier as well, and it seems like that's how they're approaching it too. So again, there is an honor system that technically doesn't need to be followed, and most of them are. So honestly, that's awesome to see for the competition. I think everybody here is just excited to have AK on the line and be able to put it up and you know, see this, what you kind of deemed a different tier or a different echelon of what competitive Delta Force can be. I think it's super cool.
It is. And I think, honestly, I think for community tournaments, that like sort of $8,000 prize pool is one of my favorite spots, right? It's not no money, right? It's a good amount of money that you would love to make, but it's not, you know, $250,000 where you're like, okay, boys, we have to play so freaking.
I'm just saying, bro, I'm looking at those new 5 series GPUs, and you're telling me that if I win, I get $1,000. It's a pretty nice upgrade.
But I'm not going to ruin my morals for it, perhaps, right? Like, if it was a $500,000 tournament, you bet your butt I would be out there grinding gear all day yesterday to win this thing and try to pay off the, you know, the down on my house. So that is, I think, something that is nice. That I love that Delta Force is doing this sort of thing and making sure that the community has options and chances to go play and showcase who's the best. Yesterday, we saw that in the second mode. We saw how the attack defend was just insanely fun, a totally different type of game. And then here we've got operation. It's going to be slower, more aggressive, and honestly, dying here feels a lot like being punched in the throat or the liver, or both at the same time when that happens. So stick around. We're going to have lots of fun with the modes here today. And if you guys are interested, the game's free. Go get it right now. You can download it. You can test it out. There's a bunch of cool stuff right when you start to make you feel comfortable. And then on top of that, you can join the Discord, because the Discord has places to pub, lots of good feedback, lots of helpful resources. The game can be, I should rephrase that, operations can be daunting to start out in sometimes, but that's the beauty of Delta Force. You don't have to start in operations. You can sort of start with the large-scale wars, get your gunplay, get comfortable, and then come over to what is essentially hell and play.
There is a level of accessibility that I think makes it very welcoming, which is awesome. So yeah, I think there's a little bit of, for everyone, the fact that, you know, we were just talking off camera as well about how, you know, you put all this time and effort into operation to get these sick guns and this, you know, this prestige of like the greatest gear I could ever want. But then you're like, that's going to stay in my inventory full time because I don't want to lose it. And you're like, wait, we've got this new raid game mode that came out, you know, a week and a half ago, that you don't lose it if you end up dropping and losing in the raid. So having the different PvE elements, as well as the PvPvE elements, as well as just PvP, like, there is a little bit of everything in this game, but not in a way to where it feels overwhelming. So yeah, pick and choose what your poison is, and really bite down on that apple, because honestly, I think it's a fantastic way. The devs are obviously showing the love and attention to the support that they've received for the title that they've made as well.
And I think we asked players yesterday over and over, like, what's your recommendation? What do you tell players to do the last 2 days? And everybody was like, just get the game and try it. You're gonna have a ton of fun. Like, go in there, don't be afraid, play the game. It costs you nothing. You know, like, if you lose everything that they gave you in your inventory, who cares? It is what it is. But I guarantee that you're gonna get into 3 or 4 games and go, oh man, that felt really good. Because to me, that is the big thing. Like, we've been gaming for a very long time, right? I had my Atari from the start, and there is something to feel, and that is at a point. I think that's where gaming has come to. We talked about, you know, I wish companies like, you know, I won't say their names, Assassin's Creed makers, will stop hiring suits to tell them how to design games and start asking gamers to tell them how a game should feel. And I, honest to God, feel like Delta Force has done that, where the gunplay, the speed of action, the breaks between it, do syncopate with that sort of player experience from a modern context, and it's really comfortable to play. And that's not a soapbox. They're not telling me what to say. I just genuinely have enjoyed my time in Delta Force the last couple of weeks more than I ever thought I would with a game in a very long time. So I think the players have echoed that when I've talked to them. I know that you feel you don't do as much operation. You seem to sort of go to the other side, but from what I take it, the guys over there seem to feel very similarly about that.
Oh, 100%. We got to talk to Enders, and apparently if you guys are looking for someone to play with, he is more than open to receiving a bunch of friend requests. And that was one of the things he said in his interview. He's just like,
True.
honestly, just send requests to the guys that are better than you, and you know, hopefully they accept, and then you get to hop in the lobby with them. But yeah, I think for a lot of them, it was actually really enticing to play in these big team battle modes with people who understood how to properly use operators, and there's a certain level of reliancy. Even though we're competing against each other, I have expectations that are being lived up to, and it just allows them to play the game that they think is in an optimal way. So for those guys that have put in thousands of hours, that make guides and tutorials on how to optimally play the game, to see other people push those limitations, I think for them in a game mode that is very heavy run and gun and very like domination, control the point style, I think is a very exciting thing for them to just say there is love and attention and detail being provided by this developer, which normally we don't get.
All right, I'll tell you what you may not normally get is to play Space City and Brekesh, because they are difficult to get into. They do have a high value of gear and a super competitive environment, and that's how we're playing both today, baby. We're starting out in Space City, which I think has been, the players seem to like it the most, Adam, but to me it seems the most chaotic. The limited amount of extracts and the fact that you have to fight so hard to try to get that helicopter out, and there's so many camp positions for it, makes me feel like as a player I would be terrified of Space City, whereas Brekesh, there's more options if things don't go your way.
Things do feel a little bit more segregated on Space City, so maybe that's why, like, you kind of feel isolated within the city itself at times, and the only time you really deal with that backlash is when you go to push or when you go to extract to a certain location.
That makes sense.
Outside of kind of those initial fights, we've seen a lot of really close engagements out of the gate. As for Brekesh, like, it just feels chaotic the whole time. There's no time to breathe. You're always uneasy unless you're, you know, somewhere in the middle of the city under like building 400 and you have like footsteps around you. You're like, okay, I can just hold this angle, we're okay. But yeah, I don't know, I'm excited to really see like 4 nonstop action match of the same teams. Like, we get to see a true evolution from start to finish, because for those that don't remember, we've had to cover 24 different teams, and we only get to see half of them at one time, half the other, so we don't even get to see the full narrative. Very excited to sink our teeth in. But with that in mind, we're waiting for people to get installed, ready to go, and in the lobbies. And because of that, I think we're going to take a quick break. So when we do come back, make sure everybody's got their water, their popcorn, their snacks, whatever it is, ready to buckle up and tune into the action. But we're going to take a quick break, make sure everything's situated, and then we're good to go. Don't go anywhere, guys.
We're back, baby! It's time to get this thing underway. Team Tuna is set to go. I'm excited, Lawler. It's about time to launch this. What are you most excited to see in game number 1?
I want to know who our standouts are going to be, man. In game 1, like if we've got a team that has been absolutely assertive in their playing comeback kids, you've got Squidward with Vayne and the guys that were coming into chat and being like, how did you guys only get 5 kills? And they're like, well, we didn't have a loadout. So there's been a little bit of conversation that's happening. I want to know who the standouts are going to be in first one. Like, as soon as we see that first engagement, who is going to be the team that stands on top in those initial fights? Because those are the teams to pay attention to. That is going to be the narrative driver for the rest of the night. So yeah, I'm just ready to sink my teeth in to see like some actual action. Like,
yeah, and I think it's you got to go hard on the first game. You don't want to be in a position where you're playing catch up and being held out of extracts and people camping you or coming, because there's a kill feed, right? If they know they can come after you and be that third party, if you don't start super strong, that can be a real issue. So I'm excited to see as we start this off, teams taking that initiative, because Space City is the place to do it, right? We got 3 extracts. You got helipad. There's 2 switches you got to click, and both can be camped. You got the rocket, which doesn't even start till 15 minutes into the match, and then you got no backpack, which, let's be honest, means no money and your last chance if you have to dance. Now we're into the match. Looking at it right now, you can see the map set up. Nobody fighting early. It does look like Tuna Team up on the north side over purple there might run into a little bit of trouble as they're taking time to get started. And I heard a rumor that they may not even have a guy who's geared yet. He might be knifing as they try to find him some gear. So this could be a little bit of trouble if they get caught.
Things play out across the board, but
that's easy zone. E-zone, I think, pushing them.
Yeah, it does look like it is. Again, the big things I'm trying to pay attention to as well is when we get these like these first-person POVs is, okay, what kind of operator are people going with? What kind of stuff can we start to assess out of the gate? Are we seeing some consistencies? Obviously, this was one of the big names last time around with Easy and Neuro. Right. And I talked about Neuro being one that I recognized, and then he goes and pops off and has like 8K and doing his thing. So ended up working out. But I just think people, like, there's this weird balance. Oh, wow, they're already getting...
What happened?
You see him up top?
Wait, what happened?
Like, they have them pinned behind there. Like, what are they supposed to...
Yeah,
they're already, man. Yeah, Void, you better go, man.
Void's got to run. Tropa in a little bit of trouble here. Wait, are there 2 Voids?
It might be the delay, but so yeah, Void and those guys are the ones that are in blue right there. That's got it. So you got Void right there.
Yep, it's Sudoka.
Yep.
All right, so this is Tropa.
Oh wow, they actually found him. No way! What an angle!
Wow. Who is this?
So that was Devo, I think, right here.
Yeah, I see Devo. Okay.
That's pushing him so aggressive. There's no way he's actually doing. What a psycho!
Comeback kids, bro.
So you got a 1v2 now. You know exactly where he is. He's low as well. So like, love the play allows you to cover one angle. I don't think he realizes how far away they are either. And it looks like they got one back up. So they should actually be full strength before this fight re-engages.
Interesting.
Dude, comeback kids playing aggressive is actually coming back to bite them.
Well, like, he's by himself. There's nothing they can do to get over there. A little too...
No, really, so like Neuro can jump back up where Devo was up here on the right-hand side with Easy covering the wide angle like now. But the difficulty is, like, even with him crawling away, the entire strength of the other team, and you've got another team that's approaching even more. You're gonna have a three-way battle here.
That backstab was what caught them, because Tropa was trying to get out of there. I think that's what they ran into. Right,
oh no, dude. So you got Void, Vayne, and the rest of the boys are coming in here now from Tropa. So we're about to have a 3v3v3. Technically 3v3v2. Engagement goes out.
Line up the shot. Oh, the flash
completely blinded.
Slow to side. Nice job. Keeps him from pushing. I counter your I counter your defensive play with my defensive play.
Is made. Using those arrows to push even further back.
It's a double Luna, by the way. That's there. Holding as hard as they can against Team Squidward. They had the TS. Thank you, boys. Those are actually 2 perfect arrows, by the way.
Yeah.
He's bouncing those things incredible.
Again, I know how desperately he wants to be able to see on top of that box and keep that corner, but he just can't from the high angle.
What's even happening anymore?
So you got a team with noise above you. As we jump over to another
Okay.
side, this is
Team Tuna.
Kurai and the guys. So Endless and Tuna.
Yep. Endless and Tuna.
Endless Tuna sounds like a good night to me.
Right? Unless it's cans of.
Yeah, true. Big fact.
Two
We're talking
kinds
like
of tuna,
sushi and stuff, man.
right? So you invite me to an endless tuna party and I show up and it's cans of tuna. I'm still actually pretty happy. All right, Deadly down. Oh, that's a wipe. Tuna team 6, first team out. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I think, again, invited team. Good opportunity to be here. Good chance to show your merit. Obviously, a lot of experience, but these are the sweats. These are the best of the best.
These are the best of the best. Oh, no.
Great
I popped
smoke.
over to, so,
What a counter.
Jeez.
Wait for it. Stay patient. It's okay.
Oh.
Oh, the hit markers. They're going to find him.
Yep. Damn you, hit markers. So that should be their elim. That'll bring us down to 4 teams. Oh, that's nice.
So, remember how that whole time we were talking about the 3v3v2? They kind of forgot that Comeback Kids is still here. So Neuro was able to go and get his teammate. He's going to bring back up Devo.
That's what these
Back in
guys
the
do.
fight.
Watch, mark my words. Gets him back in the fight. They take this next one. They lose 2. They get everyone back up, and they somehow leave with 4.2 million.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, Comeback Kids have embodied their name to a totally different degree. Again, the difficulty is, like, you need to be patient. You need to be cautious on some of these fights. But based upon the reality of, hey, we're third-partying you. Like, Vayne and those guys are coming in on Squidward and being like, we are the third party here. All of a sudden, they think about it and they're like, you need to be mindful of, wait, those names didn't go down. Like, we still have a possibility that they come back in. So either you do that re-engagement and get it done with, and then, you know, check your parameters and stuff, or you just peace out. So
I kind of wonder how kill feed reading has evolved at this stage of the game. Like, are these guys as good as we expect from, like, say, a Battle Royale team at tracking those kill feeds?
I would assume so, based on like how with how Enders and those guys, how much experience they have from other titles. I would hope so.
Activate the missile.
Jesus.
Just a fight across the river, man.
They did not miss a shot on that spray.
New event coming, by the way, in the new season where this bridge, I believe, goes down, and it's going to make it a more interesting place to fight, which I'm pretty excited. Dude. Like, actually crumble, so you have to like work your way across with cover. That's pretty cool.
That's kind of dope. Good scouting arrow. Might get a little bit of info. So as we take a look at the replay again, that spray transfer just perfectly across the body. Immediately puts down the shock arrow to close it out. This was the team that initiated that first fight with Comeback Kids. They were able to back out and get a teammate back in, so they are fighting at full strength again, but they're definitely in a very difficult position with a team on their flank across the bridge. So the only place they can really go is northeast. But if they do go northeast, you've got another team waiting for you that already has a full squad wipe on Tuna 6.
I believe, who is that? That's Endless, right? Yes, they put the EL on there. So we got Endless there on that spot. We got TS, Team Squidward. Everyone now seems to have settled just a little bit, though. The Tunas being out has opened the door. Well, I take that back. I don't think they were fighting anybody. Okay. So
Just
that's a
NPCs.
boss fight. security director.
Desmoulins. I don't know if you saw the banter that happened in EU on the first day with Desmoulins. So there was one team that like shot from like super far away, like insanely far away. And Desmoulins was like just bullying them from afar. So like one player was trying to snipe them. They would get knocked. They would have to revive them. They would have to heal back up. Like it was horrible, dude.
That does sound horrible, but they got him dead this time, and now they're going to make a move. It looks like we've got a pretty wide open map at the moment, as most of our teams that chose to fight have either survived or fallen. 4 full teams left up, trying to work their way down towards those extract positions. E-Zone has been almost completely uncontested from what I've seen as they went into that middle section. Up on the north, we've got Devo, Neuro Split. The guys from the Comeback Kids are back up and running. Now, they did get in that fight early that slowed them down, so that means it will take them some time to get their valuations back up to where they want it to be. Right now, we got one team with 49K and one with none. 1.9 and 1.8, not a bad way to start, though. Remember, last time we watched this, we watched teams coming out with north of 5 million per run, and because Space City is so hard to get out of, expect 1 or 2 teams, especially the ones who survived that helicopter fight, to come away big, because they'll be able to loot whoever is the team to go down, if you will. Now, we knew the Tunas are sitting at home watching this right now. They got some time to strategize, get their gear under them, and get ready to get back into the fray. I know Deadly Slav, I know he is not a slouch, so expect that team to come back nice and strong as we continue to watch these fights continue to break up. That was Team Squidward in the orange during that shot just there, and this is January that I believe we're watching Team Endless. Remember the nice usage of the smoke. We see a little more usage of Stinger today, as I think those smokes have really proven their value. Stinger and Luna seem to be 2 of the most popular operators when it comes to this level of competitive play, because at the end of the day, it's not about the extra damage utility. What they need is control, zoning, and cover. Multiple times today we saw European extracts that would have been possible if teams were packing smoke, and I think that's what we've missed out on. Some of the teams in the early rounds is they aren't using their utility focused operators. They're looking for speed and power instead.
I think there has to be a balance, right? Like ultimately you do need a lot of utility for these fights, but I think for these teams, their shots are so good, and I feel like they're pretty confident in their kits now that you just have to be assertive. You have to secure your kills and then move forward and play that more aggressive play style, especially because you know things are going to get scaling really aggressively. You did allude to it as well in the pre-lobby about talking about how we're playing chess and not checkers, because at the end there is going to be that catch-up mechanic where it's like, hey man, we're just playing denial on you. We know you're the #1 team. We're going to gun for you. We're going to play aggressively on you, because we know the reality is if we stop you, we can catch back up.
Absolutely. Oh, a little wine glasses, a silver coin for crafting. Not a bad chest. Safe, I should say, I guess. We're not pirates.
You don't know.
That's a you don't know. Oh, to be a pirate. But like a nice pirate. Like a Luffy pirate.
I've never watched, nor do I plan to.
You know what? I only watched the live action because everybody I work with loves anime, and I was like, fine, I'll finally watch one. And then when they made a real live action, I got to watch a movie instead. It was actually pretty good. Let's see. All right, so now this is the silence. Everybody's kind of got through that initial fight. They're trying to get their loot valuation and get out. Honestly, I think most teams are pretty unhappy with the fact that they're sub 2 million mostly across the board right now. I think E-Zone has the best score, and they have been looting uncontested since this map started. And they got that south spawn too, which is a huge one on Space City to get access to those early loot pieces. So the fact they're at 2.1 is actually very good news for the rest of the lobby. Squidward going to move into the facility now as they continue to cover each other very well, doing a little bit of looting and searching. You can see him. Look how fast that count is going up. Squidward has already climbed up to 645,000 in the last maybe 2 minutes from in the 300s, so they are very quickly trying to grab that valuation. Whereas I believe that E-Zone and Endless have sort of left their safe areas and have to sort of aren't having quick access to the loot that they had earlier.
Yeah, I think, again, we're seeing kind of this weird imbalance of sometimes you may be uncontested, sometimes the loot's just not there. Like, and do
it just
know,
do be like that.
Yeah, we do know a lot of these players also have been, we talked about it, I think it was in, what team was that? They had, his name started with an S. I couldn't think of the top. We interviewed him. I'm brain farting, but the conversation piece about being like, I wanted to snipe, I wanted to be able to surf a little bit further away. And I think in these lobbies that does make sense. Like that really high impact round that can say, hey, this can be an entry frag and we can be, we can be aggressive from there. Seems to be the play because even for like comeback kids out of the immediate fight, like they caught him completely off guard and didn't get a single knock, which I was surprised by.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to, and you saw the teams not wanting to sort of talk about their strategy, but there is these tickets that they use to buy gear, right? For those of you watching at home. And those tickets come in 3 different varieties. You got firepower, you got balance, you got defense. Defense has higher tier armor. Firepower has higher tier bullets. Moderate is obviously going to be middle of the road. And you will see people with orange and some nicer gear because they're able to take things that they find and use them, obviously, as the game progresses. But the biggest issue here is the way that the armor works pre-next patch is that if the bullet is the same color, it does 25% less damage. If it's a higher color, it completely ignores the armor. And if it's a lower color, you have to do all of the armor damage before you'll get any penetration. So in this format, the ability to have that higher tier ammunition can be a really massive boon, especially for the high-powered rifles, because it does mean that if somebody chose to go maybe firepower and you get that shot on them and you penetrate right through that helmet with no delay, like that's an easy, quick win. So I do think having one person go with that long-range firepower has been a very strong strategy. With the same is we're seeing at least one person usually take defense and play in front of the group, right? Like take that absorption, be out there and be the bullet sponge on breaches.
Yeah, it's good to have that initiator, especially because if you're taking for trades, like just having that advantage, it is a really easy way to swing the fight. We saw that in the final extraction on Thursday as well. So yeah, I think people have kind of really identified, and you are seeing some people spot out what is their competition. So again, probably a lot of communication happening here for the Endless squad and just saying, okay, we either want to go and contest them or we need to rotate away from that because we know that there's a very likely the fight that they were having earlier, so we can, kind of position our way. But a little bit of confidence in this movement too. Still checking the angles, still being cautious, but definitely being very direct in what and how they want to approach this.
Why not use a red dot? So they're going to work their way up to the top of the tower. Looks like they might be sending somebody else out through... Well, I guess there's nothing up there really for them to do. All right, so let's see. We're waiting. This is helicopter, right? Everybody's hoping somebody else pushes the switches, it seems. I don't think I've seen anybody in there. Maybe E-Zone? And then, so they're looking for switches. Rocket's about 15 out. We did see someone heading down there. Okay. The jets are coming. That means the rocket is in play. So you can see we're going to be heading down that direction to try to defend this rocket. 15 minutes in is when it's available and the process starts. E-Zone was south very quickly, right around 15 minutes. It looks like they want to at least get one heavy hitter out as quickly as possible once that rocket touches down. That's one of the things I love that Delta Force does. Everything has a cutscene, and every cutscene has true brass behind it. So you can see the rocket dropping down to the port. Guys are going to try to load up on it. You got a nice long-range hold here. Is this Endless? No, this is E-Zone. So E-Zone going to use that sniper rifle to make sure nobody follows them from behind as the rest of our team closes in on the possible rocket extract. Also, guys, their players are on a 10-minute delay. We are not. So if you want to ask questions in chat, if you want to engage with us, please feel free to do so. We're here to talk about Delta Force, teach you anything we can, and have a good time over the course of the next 2 or 3 hours. We're playing 4 games here tonight. At the end of it, we will crown an operations champion to the first ever community tournament. Oh, I like that peek. Look at that. Dirty. Riveting. I thought the helicopter was going to die to the rocket. But the rocket has landed. E-Zone going to head up there, sending a player up already. Their third man still holding the line. 245 seconds. You got to guard the area. There are soldiers that will spawn and they will push. That is not wonderful if you've got your good ammo. Ammo can be tricky to keep your hands on. You can hear that like... Hear the music. It's pretty hype when you're doing this in game, I'll be really honest with you. It is a dirty peek. Thank you, Peaceful Mind. I call them zoomer angles, because every time I watch these kids play, they pull off stuff like that. Going through that loot, making sure he's got a couple of weapons, firearms on standby, little SR. Helmet. No repair kits left. That's why he's not wearing it. Still better to have a full blue than a mostly empty purple. More bad guys being dropped off. E-Zone less concerned with them and more concerned with a push, but no one seems interested in stopping E-Zone. In fact, it seems like E-Zone is going to walk out of this one without too much trouble, and everyone else is going to battle over helicopters. So that's going to put E-Zone in a really good position going into game 2 if they can stay uncontested for the next 172 seconds. It's a minute and a half, I think. No, 3 minutes.
Just under 3 minutes. You're killing it.
Just
Also,
under 3 minutes.
for everybody in chat, round of applause here for Toffees. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my feed, just to let you guys kind of insight on the background. Man is literally holding it down in solo casting, so make sure you drop some love. Appreciate your efforts, man. It seems like everything's situated, so unfortunately now you guys got to hear me too.
Nice. People asking about wipes. The new patch is coming. There has been talks about things like Prestige, which are going to be pretty cool, and other stuff. So go check out the Discord if you want any of the update information that you are talking or asking about. That is where you will find it. We are not bastions of future information, simply messengers for current awesomeness. All right, running around, still trying to figure out what they're going to do here as we take a look at Team Squidward. Choppers in the distance. Helicopter extraction point is officially active. That means there will be at least 3 teams headed in that direction to try to get out. This fight's going to go off, bro.
Yeah, I'm expecting something pretty chaotic here. We got a little taste of that right out of the gate, but man, I'm just waiting because, again, you're talking to everybody for the most part. We were kind of curious on loot-wise how things were going to play out. We're like, man, 2.1 is not a whole lot, and then all of a sudden it's like, now everybody is pretty consistently at that same moment. So it is going to be make or break. I think these are the ones that kind of set that precedent on how to approach moving forward. Man, what a nuisance.
Right?
One more. Nice. Well done.
He's out here just tossing C4.
I mean, dude, at this point, it's like with the way that the game has played out, it's been relatively quiet free zone for them. Just take what you got and get out. Like,
I think that's the plan, but I think they are flabbergasted that they have been uncontested. So like he was like, I'm gonna go loot that, I guess, because no one's coming.
Yeah.
So they'll get to have the extra loot. I'm sure they've already stacked one person who's sitting on top of the rocket right now. But at this point, I think, yeah, you just fill up with greens if you need to and extract because everyone else is clearly going to fight for the no-go zone.
I mean, if I'm them too, the next thing I'm doing is I am giving whatever I can to one person, and I'm going to play spoiler. Like, 100%, if, like, I don't feel confident with just barely over 2 mil. Like, I don't think it's enough. If I'm talking with my teammates, I'm like, dude, we haven't seen anybody. I don't feel confidently that this is enough, so give it to me. Who do we want to keep out? And maybe you send 2 instead of 1, like, and you just go into like a kill force team.
I think that's what you do. You send however many you need to get as much top tier loot as you have out of the map, and then send whoever's left to go mess with the other guy's extract, right? Like, even if your other 2 don't get out, you've got the tickets to regear. The blues don't matter if you can stop the other teams from getting out with any of their, purples.
Yep. So it looks like it might be Kurai that's going to be the one that's leaving.
It's about to launch ahead of time. Ooh.
I'm trying to remember who they kept in last time.
E-Zone? I don't think we had a chance to watch him.
No, I was talking because that was Endless. I thought we were spectating it
up
first.
here last time. Yeah, this is E-Zone here at the Rocket.
Oh yeah, it's just the spectator thing.
Oh, they're interested. They're interested. All right, so we have a showdown. It's Comeback Kids versus Team Squidward for the helicopter extract.
Again.
E-Zone has locked down the rocket extract, exactly, and it looks like it might be Endless sort of exploring the options of taking that one. A nice little corner hold. Okay, so he went back already like significantly to be spoilered. Split and Devo waiting for that extract to come through. 7 minutes left on the match. One team out with 73K in their pouch. Oh, maybe they aren't.
No, that's the team that got eliminated, right?
How'd they get 73,000? Somebody must use the extract or something.
That's a good question.
It could
Because
be API.
Team 5 is tuning those guys. I think that got wiped.
Yeah, I thought so too. Maybe the evaluations of the secure container we removed after the fact or something like that. It's our first tournament, so we're all enjoying this with you guys. We will all admit there's a few changes for the next one, but I think that's the fun part, is that we are organically making this happen, and it's going to be getting better every single time, and it's been a blast for our first tournament, that's for sure.
Yeah, everybody knows, I think, with a pre-understanding of, like, we are guinea pigs. There's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be some adjustment periods. And I think that's been the nice thing is the developers have consistently showcased that they are here to make adjustments and make the game as good as they possibly can. So I don't think that changes in any capacity for this. So they did end up sending 2, like you said, out of E-Zone. They are going to keep 1 behind. But who is the lucky one that gets to play Spoily Boy? That's what I want to know.
Who is the lucky boy? I think it was Darkin. I think they left him hiding behind a planter to literally just go mess with this. All right, so now we see Comeback Kids saw that the rocket was blocked. There was nothing they could do, and they have now returned to what is about to be the big kerfuffle with only 5 minutes left on the map. Oh, this is wild.
Oh, is he going to get 2?
Opener.
No,
Good
he just
opener.
ran out. So close to getting 2 knocks on that one. Is going to flush 1, so... Right, probably relatively happy about this. Knows the pressure is there. Is going to smoke it, still spray. Check the other angles. Needs to be careful, though. There's a lot of action nearby.
Like that relocate. Straight down the hallway. Takes a shot and then moves again. Nice smoke.
Yeah, this is Light. Just doing such a good job.
So Light was left behind. And I mean, really, because he was left, his job here is just to cause trouble, right? Like,
yep.
He shot him, he slowed him down, and now he smoked him and went somewhere else because now they can't make a play without worrying about him. So why not go cause someone else to sort of reprogram the way they're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's literally the perfect fight. You go, you knock, you flush 1.
Yep.
Okay, that's immediate value dropped there. You then rotate to a different angle. They're having to be cautious about something else, and you're like, dude, I've got nothing to lose. Like,
Nothing to lose.
I am vibing.
I am vibing. It's vibing. And it is 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. Devo in the distance. Comeback Kids looking around. We got Team Squidward down 1 after that last shot. Is that Light again? It's January. Ooh. That's your team.
Wow. Gotta be careful. He's still got 1 on the right here.
Yep, they're just mowing through right now. Comeback Kids, I believe.
So you've got Light, who's rotating through on the bottom here with E-Zone. Cujo's the one who's trying to find him. He does spot him out. Needs to get this kill.
Wow.
Can't connect. We got another fight here on the other side. Squidward and what looks like, I'm pretty sure, Comeback Kids that have been fighting through the entirety of this first match.
Nice.
He's going to get 1. There's another one down. So right now, only 1 player left up for Team Squidward. That's huge, considering their evaluation has dropped significantly. What was at least 1.8 mil is now down 1 million less.
Yep. It's a big yike.
Vayne is trying to loot that so quick. Poor guy.
Grab what he can and just make a move. 2 minutes left. 3-minute warning. Sorry, 3-minute warning as they try to get to this. You can see Neurosplit there in the distance. So Comeback Kids still feeling okay with their 2. Squidward down to 1, and they can't. This comeback isn't. Oh no, Squidward's got 3 left. I thought they were down to 1.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I thought it was Comeback that was down to 1.
No, Comeback has 2. You can see him on the purple there. Pink is Team Squidward, and there's
I just
3
don't know
of
if
them
the spectator's behind on it or not. It seems like it's been pretty good today.
Yeah, I think what it does is it like the who you're on can sometimes be delayed, but in this shot, it seems like it's always pretty accurate to the teams in the distance.
Because the colors are changed again now.
Yeah, the
That's
color
issue.
changing is a sticky wicket.
And now the colors are back, baby.
When you go to the observer aerial, it goes back to the base colors.
Yeah, so when we transition to that, so this right now looks like it is Comeback Kids.
It would, yes, because it's 2 left, so it's comebackers.
Yeah.
Here's the rocket leaving, I guess. No, that's the
No,
sound.
this was the important one. So we were wondering if Kujo was going to be able to find the last player on E-Zone and managed to get him through the smoke.
Nice. So both of them are up to 3 now. Down to $1 million apiece, however.
The 2.5 is looking pretty spicy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel confident in it, but I think that's the point, is like get out with what you can and play spoiler. And realistically, like E-Zone has just delayed this extraction by like 4 minutes. So mission accomplished, man.
I'm not sure they get out.
Like, how do you when you have this many people contesting the same?
I think everybody's getting ready for a no backpack, maybe. But they're fighting over it. Flash drones out. 56 seconds. Yeah, you can see the extractions going on right now. So they sent the first one out. They're controlling no backpack.
Gotta make a play, you guys.
Yep.
You don't have enough time. You have to go.
Team Squidward really trolling.
Great counter smoke.
29 seconds left. Continues to delay tactics.
Did manage to get one down. Again, clean shots, but we're talking only 14 seconds left. I don't think it's going to matter.
Nope, they got the knock. He's just going to keep holding them out, make sure they don't get any high loot items out of this map. Cruel.
Good flush. That was important too.
Vayne isn't going to get out. He's going to do exactly what he had to, which was they put everything valuable they had in one backpack, sent that player out through the backpack extract, and then said, we're just going to hold, because that's what backpack is good for, is one person comes in and every high value item gets stuffed in that rig and they get out, right? So they said, come back, kids, you get absolutely nothing for your trouble. Big play by Team Squidward to do that. That said, E-Zone is the problem, Adam, because they walked out of that uncontested out of the rocket with 2.1 million.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking, again, it was a little too quiet, a little too weird, so they're like, why risk it? What's the point? I think they played it perfectly. We talk about things having to adapt on the fly, which is the exciting thing about operations against these high-level lobbies. Something that we candidly have never seen before. We have never seen what this is going to look like, what this is going to evolve into. So for them to be able to control their own narrative and just say, you know what, let's do the smart thing, it gives them essentially $1 million, like it's a $1 million valuation buffer. That's huge.
So Howells just jumped into chat and told us that they weren't trolling. All the spots for no backpack were taken. There's only 3 outs. So at that point, it was just a sit there, hold, and pick the fight. You know, what else can you really do? So results from match number 1, Comeback Kids do walk away. Only 3 kills, but they're going to walk away with a pretty high valuation. Or I'm sorry, they got 3 kills and nothing, because that's 4th place. Tropa, Tuna also with nothing to show for it. The good news for Tuna Team 6 is, well, they're still on an even playing field with, I think, 3 of the other teams.
Yeah, taking a look at the results here, this is nice and easy. Now, the cool thing, too, for you guys is for production in the background, they don't have to match 24 players, a bunch of different teams. And we are in tune. We can just take a screenshot of the leaderboard and then put it into the API, make it look pretty. So these are active. These are good to go. We talked about E-Zone getting out with that 2.5 mil. Lights did stay around, did play a bit aggressive and cause some havoc. Managed to get 2 kills for the efforts. So credit to where it is due. And then Squidward again, 1.6, only 900K behind. Not too shabby.
Yeah, it's not a bad amount to get out, though. I mean, Howells was the only one who was allowed to leave, and he got out with that 1.6. They did a good job of moving items, moving gear around, and keeping pace with E-Zone. Endless with Kujo, only that 71. Not going to be super stoked on that. But again, that was a great example of Kujo was like, we just got to try to make something happen here. And they went to that backpack as fast as they possibly could and voided the situation at helicopter in the first place. So got to have a lot of respect for that. I will say a good amount of action for game 1 and valuations that were lower than I expected, which I think is good news for our next 3 games, Adam.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be really down to the wire. Compared to what we saw yesterday, where there were some clear favorites in all these lobbies, I think you get what you are given at this point. Like, there is going to be the reality of just making sure that you play as tight to the chest as you can. Don't take any risks. Go for the guarantee. Now, I say that, and I better believe that there's going to be at least one team that says, forget what he said. We are going to play aggressive. We are going to take it down to the wire, and we're going to make sure we get out with the biggest valuation, even if it is super risky, which That is my favorite team. I don't know who it is yet, but I can't wait to find
I
out.
don't know who you are, but I love you, and I think it might be Tuna if we get to that point. So we'll find out, guys. We're going to take a short break. When we get back, it's time for match number 2, so don't go anywhere.
Admit defeat, rookie. Give it to me.
What? How do you think about it? You don't know what you're doing. Give it back.
Damn, you look down on me. Give it to me.
Looks like it's my turn.
we're back. We're back. Welcome back, Lawler. How you doing?
Surviving, man. Trying to figure out what is my internet, which I think is fine, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. What I do know is that we're getting ready to match 2, and I know we're going to what I think is one of your favorite maps, dude. I think there is something very exciting about Rakesh to be enjoyed.
There is exciting. Now, as far as favorite maps go, I will say it's my favorite map to watch so far. I don't know if it's my favorite map to play because every time I zone in, I drop in, I die within the first 6 minutes. So if I feels Tuna Team 6, man, if you know what I mean. Let's take a look one more time at those. I know, right? That's what happened. Grand final standings underway. E-Zone already off to a huge start. These guys dominated in the group stages. As a reminder, just like significantly dominated in the group stages. So this is not great news for everyone else. Team Squidward also putting up big numbers. And honestly, I'm impressed getting out with one person and managing to keep in the race with that 1.6 million. So good for them.
Yeah, really important at the tail end there. We even saw some of the guys come into chat. Obviously, they have played it already, but they are waiting for the times to come through. So much shouts to you guys for not only coming over to support the mainstream, but also competing at the same time. Howells, you in particular. Thank you, buddy. Yeah. Probably easy to do when you extracted 1.6 for your team and were the hero.
Yes, exactly. Yes, then you got plenty of time to come in and be like, oh, let's see if they caught that. Actually, which I appreciate. So anytime the players want to come in after they get eliminated and give us insights, that's any insight is always welcome. First win goes to E-Zone, and now we're going to move to Rakesh for number 2 and kick that off in just a couple of minutes. A lot more extract options here. I don't think we've seen anybody try to use the doctor yet, so that would be fun to see. You've got a couple of other options, the bathhouse, the lab extraction with dog tags. So those should be pretty interesting matches. I've heard teams talking about bringing dog tags in with them that they've stolen from people in previous games so they can use the dog tag extract if they need to, which I think would be a great idea. Bring those in, stash them, and then that's what you do. Loot and send one guy out right away by bringing those dog tags in. Maybe not even have a fight to earn them in the first place. I think that's how you win this tournament. And teams starting to realize that. You got to think around corners when it comes to operations.
Yeah, I think this one definitely provides that really high level of strategy that I think we really enjoy. The meta per se, I don't think has been developed yet because we haven't seen the limits pushed to that degree. I think people are still in the feeling it out and figuring it out type feeling. So I do think that part of excitement being in part of the early adopter of it, I think is just awesome to be a part of ultimately. Appreciate the opportunity. But yeah, I do feel like getting to see how this already still isn't enough of a sample size. Like if we're just being completely candid and very direct about it, like 4 matches is definitely not enough with how good these guys are to really see what is optimal.
Right.
But what is exciting is it is a small sample size for these guys to be able to go and say, this felt really, really good out the gate. This did not feel good. And those minor adjustments can easily be made for the next iteration.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a really cool opportunity to just test something new and see what comes from it, without any repercussions outside of like, hey, you didn't win as much money as this other team. As we jump here into match number 2, people already 37K out of the books, just like that.
Yeah, well, you open a box and you grab something cool. So let's look at the map as it comes up right now. Nobody in a conflict position just yet, though E-Zone does seem to be moving towards Team Squidward relatively quickly, and they don't have maps. If you're new to the game and you see those little squiggly marks, the checkered boxes, that is because the radar does not work in that area. So you don't have the ability to see sort of gunfire. You don't know where the locations are. You have to have it memorized if you're going to go in there. Also, to answer some Twitch questions in Twitch chat, players are on a 10-minute delay, so camping is not really an issue. We are not on that delay. We're watching behind. So what you see, we're same time as you. They are on a delay to make sure that fairness is completely dedicated. I think that was all the questions that I had from you guys so far.
Yes, and an $8,000 prize pool.
Yes.
First place gets $3K. Each player who wins will get to take home a third of that, so $1,000 per player for winning. And then it goes down a little bit after there. I think it's 3K, then 2K, and then it really diminishes quickly. Kill leaders also get 200 points, I think.
Yes, biggest kill leader, $200, 2 points. And then 6 does not get paid. So if you are in last, you go home with nothing except the memories and the excitement, and you get to tell your friends you played in a professional Delta Force event, which honestly, kind of worth.
It's pretty dope. Put that on the resume. Put it, it gets you a Wikipedia page.
Do you see that? They're over here by Doctor, the start of the Doctor extract. You saw that. I don't know if you guys saw there on the map on the bottom. You can see in a shelter the Doctor and all of his guards. And if you choose to do that, you can basically escort him across the entire map while the map does everything it can to kill you and tell everyone else where you are. And then if you're successful, you can take the extract, maybe. So that's... I don't think we've seen any. Have we? I don't think we've seen that at all yet.
We haven't. We haven't.
Because
the way
I
think
described
because
it
of how this plays, that is like the epitome of risk.
Yep, absolutely. Because you have to escort the whole way. The guards don't do the job. You can't start this extract and go do something else. You got to fight the whole way through, which is also just not functional in terms of getting the amount of money these teams need to get to win this thing.
Yeah.
So, slow looting. I expected this a little bit more on Burkesh as we got into it. This idea that you're going to take your time, maximize your value, and honestly, after the last game, try not to fight too much and get to those extracts and control them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to be as passive as possible in these fights unless they absolutely have to. We saw immediately, the initial engagement, which zero surprise out of Comeback Kids and how they approached this game. For them to be the first ones taking shots. I'm like, yep. Sounds about right.
Seems right.
33 kills, we'll definitely do that. But you also saw they lost a player in the process. Luckily, they were able to get to full strength after that. You then saw another team come in, and it was just nonstop. And it's like, during all that time, you could have been looting.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think people definitely don't want to draw attention to themselves, especially with who's playing.
I do want to say, the Comeback Kids, across the board, their ability to get back to full strength has been shocking.
It's incredible.
And it's not always the same guy. It's like there's a different member of the team pulling some sort of 1v2 shenanigans to get his team back in the fight. Easy's been awesome. Neurosplit's positioning has been strong. Devo's been an inspiration on the headshots. Really fun to watch those guys. All right, now here's our featured team. Team Tuna 6. Deadly Slob, Bonke, and Stop Shooting Me, which they did not listen to that request in the last game. We'll see what happens this time around.
Probably went down first or down last in the kill feed.
They still have not looted anything in this game.
They're fighting a flamethrower, I think, currently. So
it does be tough sometimes.
How the difficulty though is there's definitely some teams pretty nearby, stacked on top of each other even. So I'm sure you can hear those footsteps. There's a little bit of caution to the wind.
E-Zone and Squidward right next to each other, as you can hear. That's what it is. Tuna heard the squids. Okay. I saw that. I see you, D-Wolf.
Wow, what a connection.
It was a great shot.
Dude, ping Tuna half health.
Good job, Tuna.
Great
now
arrow.
You're just being mean with those arrows. No res for you.
I mean, it's smoked into, so again, you would have to assume like, hey, that's a major contest point. You might as well. But got one down here. It's a decent angle here from Devo. Looks on the top left.
Yep.
They know exactly where he is in that window.
You just can't find that peak. Strong window, man. Mark that in your journals, boys. He really wants that. Okay, now they know.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're going to pre-spray that. Makes perfect sense. They are going to get the pickup, so should be able to play this. Oh, he actually pushes out the building. What a psycho.
What a good timing, though. They knew his nades are on cooldown.
I do like this wide flank. Who is that on the left-hand side?
That is EL, so it's Endless is on the left, and on the right was... that was Comeback.
Because I'm looking at this because I saw them go to balcony, so he knows, like, if we take wide, if they're playing this on the backside, we should be able to engage a little bit. So they were able to do so, closes the door on his teammate, and now they're actually being shot from the other side. What a good push from this team. Oh, my gosh.
Wow. All right, into the building he goes. Knifes out, runs faster. Endless.
God, that was such a good play.
So who got wiped? So we know E-Zone's alive. We know Squidward's alive. Going up to the top of the tower. And on the top of that tower is where you will find the double dog tag extract. Here's that fight. Endless versus the boys. It was Comeback Kids that got eradicated. Unexpected. Well, they got it's going to be a tall order for the Comeback Kids in the next two games. I can tell you that right now. we saw the tunas in a standoff. Their sound cues, I think, are scaring them a little bit. Squidward hears that there is a problem up here. They're not interested in pushing endless.
Again, I'm just not trying to peek that if I don't have to. I do like the nade engagement.
E-zone versus Squidward. That's what we're looking at.
Yep.
That arrow, man. King zoning.
I mean, even still, like, it's a great smoke. They try to do the drone flash and everything too, but it's defended well. And now it's like they're able to push up and hold a better angle from high ground.
Yep.
Like, they're going to have peeker's advantage. You know, hold a heady, whatever you got to do. But the curiosity for me too is like, if I'm endless, it's like, do I even want to push into this? What's my advantage?
Right. Squidward's trying to. They're playing aggressive. Squidward advancing again. Get that peak. 3, 2. Are you behind me, buddy?
Are we really gonna get the top? Oh, he jumped peak too.
They're doing the double. They planned the double peak.
There's a trade.
Nice.
You know that. You know he's down on that corner. Like, he's got to feel confident. He's like, yep, I did get one. So, not sure if they can bully it or not.
It's like they're buying time for that. Whatever. What is he doing? Sing Sing's just sort of off on his own right now.
Yeah, I'm curious on what the third's up to. Like, he's covering that other angle, right? So he's back left here, and he's covering the opposite degree. So
okay,
if Lime happens to peek too aggressively, he can probably get him in that cross. But unfortunately for them, it's going to be so difficult unless they can find a way to go behind the dinosaur, that T-Rex right now.
Yep.
And rotate further back to where that angle gets cut off by the signing up top.
And now we are going to jump over. Oh, run faster. You're faster when the gun's away. Who are we looking at there? Aha, that's Tuna Team 6. Okahe. I hear a Luna arrow. The sound I hear in my sleep.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell immediately based on those gunshots and stuff too. And Tuna's retreating, avoiding the rest of the guys for Tropa, or like, yeah, let's push up. Like, we know they disengaged.
And these guys still going, man. Why do they want this so badly?
I don't know. Like, maybe they saw who was on the receiving end and they're like, hey, that's direct competition. We take them out. But that engaged fight, like, it's so much time wasted. And realistically, if these colors are correct, like, Squidward's only got 10K.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. We got to figure out who's got 2.9. Where's the pink?
It looks like endless. I would assume it's endless after they wiped Comeback Kids. I assume they're sitting pretty.
That's true. Do you know if you get valuation based on the ammo and the guns that you take as well? I think you do, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, like, wiping a squad definitely is like a free mill.
Exactly. It's a free mill that will not easily become 2 mil because you usually have to drop a lot of those items if you start to grab loot. Does that make sense? Right. But if you're looking for an easy way to say, okay, I got a mill on me no matter what happens, it's a great starting point. They're up to 2.9 now. So after winning against the Comeback Kids, they have just had uncontested loot town with no real trouble.
Yeah, it does look like Tuna, after they've decided to completely disperse, have unfortunately for them ended up in the exact same area that I think was already looted. So they are starting to get a little bit more value, but I don't think it's going to be as much as they would hope.
I think they're also going to lose the benefit of anybody who's played in Extraction knows, like, there's a massive advantage to just knowing where the loot tendencies are, like what tables have red spawns on them, for instance.
Right.
And that's something that I don't know if they have the same level of experience.
That is
that
not
these
what
other
I
guys do.
Into.
Oh yeah, okay. This is what
get him.
Let's go. The ammo was too precious to lose. Smoke and punch. Okay, that's my new strategy for taking out gunners.
Also, just got the info. Bath extraction's now active.
Caramel barbecue, which sounds weirdly delicious. I will say that they are aware, and it is the first time we've ever had an observer client like this in an Extraction game, and it probably will not be adjusted till next time we do an event, but it is noted. The colors We understand that that's challenging, and we're doing our best to work with it.
Yeah, we as the casters also feel it, because when you're trying to talk about a team and then all of a sudden the color is different than the color it just was, not the easiest. So we're right there with you guys. We believe you.
But also, again, I'm just impressed that we've got a first
the fact that we
esports
have a
event with
spectator
an
at all,
observer.
man.
Like a spectator. Like, I can't tell you how many games I've worked without a spectator. All right, so if you haven't seen this, we open a big safe, and there's a bunch of little safes inside. And so one person or two people will go through and open them all, and one will go back and fill his backpack with valuable items. Man, those safes are much nicer than my Zero Dam safes.
Dude, I'm like risking it all. I'm trying to min-max this and be like, okay,
Yep.
I'm taking the 2s, you're taking the 3s, like,
Yep. Leave the horns.
yep.
3.2 million on Endless so far.
Dude, it's gonna keep going up.
But
too.
this is the thing about E-Zone. Look at E-Zone. They're already back into like this 1.1 million. Like these guys know how to find loot. This is something cool I don't ever get to see. One person cleaning the safe out instead of 3 idiots all trying to loot it as fast as humanly possible.
It's me, the 3 idiots.
Hey, me too, bro. Pub life. I gotta get that loot.
I'm like, bro, I understand we're in this and there's no I in team, but
Yep.
it's all about me right now.
Dude, people get really mad if you watch them open it and then you take the item real quick.
Hey, you gotta be quicker than that.
Press the F button. They're like, oh, thank you. Stop.
Oh, man. That's how friendly fire happens real fast.
There's no friendly fire. You get away with murder. Murder, I tell you. No, actually, I'll be honest with you. The pub system has been very enjoyable. I normally will not play pubs. I will solo queue into a squad game if I have to. I have pubbed these games with the actual matchmaker, the in-game matchmaker, and have enjoyed almost 98% plus of them, which says something about the community. There's a lot of games where you won't catch me dead using the in-game matchmaker.
Deadly is not backing down from this peak. What a psycho. He's right above them, so he does find out Sudoka.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, but then forgets there's 2 below him.
They're gonna go for that fast res. I think they have a heal op, so they should.
Dude, this is such an aggressive push. Can we go first person on one of these guys?
Come on, show us the push. Show us the push. Not the guys we wanted. Here we are.
No, he's gonna. Oh, right idea. He's trying to get up top.
It's the NPCs that are the issue.
Yeah, it's not the time.
So they actually managed to get the res up on Deadly.
Yo. Downfall, though, is it's a lot of information that they don't have now. So the guys should be able to basically surround and cover every angle, which, I mean, you can already see that. Look where Sudoka's speaking from. Look where the other 2 are from.
They really, yeah. Also, worth noting, Deadly is now completely redded out on both his chest and his vest. Or that's the same thing. The vest and the helmet. Chest and vest just sounded so much better.
Also rhymes.
Exactly. I love rhyming things.
Anything with like alliteration and rhyme scheme.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Thank you.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Thank you.
Oh, he's right there. Shoot him.
Endless up to 2.7. E-Zone looking at 1 point. And then obviously this fight still continuing. I feel like they're giving... How do I say this? I feel like Tropa's maybe giving them a lot of respect here.
Yeah, the other complication too, Squidward heard it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been fighting this kind of cat and mouse game with the other team for quite a while now.
Yep.
They hard disengage. Tuna hard disengages, finds themselves in another fight, and they're like, fine, we'll let you guys duke it out. We'll take all the benefits after you guys are done.
Apparently we tied the camera to a tree branch.
All right, Endless, what are you guys up to?
Looks like they
I think they want to extract
passing
here.
gear around, yeah.
Yeah.
They might be trying to send one person home. No backpack.
Based upon that side, I would like to say yes.
Yep. A lot of ammo, a lot of guns, all the high value stuff they can fit stuff into, yeah.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
You know
Come
you want
on.
to.
Oh, the patience, the patience.
Yeah, I love the spectator delay because we're watching TS Vane shoot by TS Vane, and I'm like, that's not right.
That's how good he is, man.
You played yourself.
Yeah, the no bag is broken. I thought that might be the case. I wonder if somebody... No, nobody took it. Huh.
Oh, so close.
So Endless is up in a bit of a pickle. No bag is not active. They drop down the no bag, they move the loot around, and it seems like he cannot get out there. So they have to adjust their strategy on the fly. Was that E-Zone or Endless that was trying to use it?
I think it was Endless. Almost with 3 mil.
Yep.
Which, I mean, we talk about that now up to 2.5. Like, they really climbed that quickly.
Listen, I'm not gonna agree with you if that's what happened, because all I understand about war zones is that sometimes your ride doesn't show up and you just have to adjust, okay? And that's clearly what happened at No Backpack. When things go foobar, you make it work. What is foobar? Can't remember that movie.
So good.
You're right. Oh, foobar. Sorry. Let's see the replay.
Wow, what a spray.
Oh, the transfer! If only it was a 60 mag. I know it's an acronym.
Oh, we were both
We know.
very well aware what it stands for.
Are you kidding? I was raised on Saving Private Ryan. Ooh, nice CPU.
CPU. Nice.
CPU? CPU. Boo.
Man's just building a computer. He's got his PSU
Right?
now. What's next?
I'm booing. The nerd in me's like, yes, get them all. I need a second, third, and fourth streaming computer.
God, right.
No, my kids are aging up to like being real gamers now, and it's terrifying because I know they're going to start looking at my computer and being like, how come you get to have the GeForce RTX? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Here's your Chromebook. Get out of my head. We got 10 minutes left. 5 teams trying to extract.
Oh, what a peak.
Wow.
That is a dangerous angle to peak. So,
I believe that's Tropa that got knocked just there. E-zone in extract position. Oh, I like the zone. Using those arrows to try to keep everybody out. Squidward's knows exactly where they are. They use that locator. One down. Easy pickup, though.
lucky that they didn't get either of those trades either.
Yep.
So gonna go for the quick res. Gonna need it because expect an aggressive push. They've been doing it this whole time.
They're here.
As light pushes right in, he literally lands on top of him and understands that the spray is gonna have to come down.
Oh.
Pressure on the backside. It's not over yet.
Ooze.
He's pushing back in.
Interesting.
I think Hull's gonna be able to get one up. Oh, he's actually gonna go for the hero play. Top side gets one. No, he doesn't. Backs off.
All right, he got the re-knock. 2v1.
Oh, there they are. Oh, he can't clutch it.
It's run jousting.
Oh, what a play, too. It's so smart. Sends in the one aggressively, leaves one back that just has better vision on it.
Yep.
And now Tuna
the Tuna Boys!
Oh, no,
the Tuna Boys!
Dude, they have been on the receiving end of this for so long. Slop does not care. Boy is shoving in so aggressively.
Let's go!
Oh, he got shredded.
He got super shredded. He was not ready for that hip fire. Listen, I just want to res my boys.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Slop. What a
He
spoiler.
did it, bro. They did it. They deleted E-Zone. Go loot them. Do they know how to get out? They got 8 minutes to figure this out. This is why you don't need 2. Go loot.
No, it's power of friendship, man.
I gotcha.
Words of encouragement.
Yeah,
like
Cujo,
one is actually doing all the med kit stuff, and the other one's like, "You're gonna be okay, buddy." Like,
yeah, holding his hand.
Don't look at the light.
Oh, they took the extract.
Wait, what?
They took the extract.
But why didn't they take the loot?
Well, I guess 298 is better than nothing.
Is it?
No, I don't think so. Maybe for pride points.
They won that fight, played spoiler, like, let's get out, boys, let's go.
Oh my.
What just happened?
Why? Well, I mean, like, that's. I mean, okay. Let's go. Cujo, there is a
Dude,
slight
W
delay in
Entertainment,
the. It wasn't you. There's a slight delay in the observer client where the name on the bottom left that you think is the player we're watching is not always the player we're watching. So just enjoy getting credit for a cool play sometimes, and sometimes us saying that you made a bad play. What can you do?
Hey, I need you to tell me phonetically how you say your name.
Cujo. It's got to be Cujo, like the mean dog.
I want it to be Cujo, but it's Kujzoo, which is like
a zoo in
zoo?
Kujek.
Kujzu. What is it? Is it Kujzo? Like, do I pronounce it American, or do we just go, hey, it's Cujo now?
Lime Dye, as far as your question goes, and maybe Cujo can help us with this one, I believe that because it's these pre-ticketed loadouts, some of them are coming with like large scopes that you don't want to use in these close-range fights. So it's better to rip it off an iron sight close up, and then have that 4x, 5x, 6x for the long-range engagements. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive that I'm right.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're on the money on that one.
Thank
now,
you.
the crazy thing about this, 7 minutes left, 4.6 million in a full team, and no one else.
The real question is, what extracts are still available? Suggestion for observer client: we need to have a way to pull up all extracts that have been taken and what remains.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like a counter for how many backpacks have left, etc. Put it on the notes. Actually, I'm gonna make a notes.
Yeah, definitely when we get like top left, how we have like overlay stuff. Just have a tracker for that too. One of the cooler things too is when you get the opportunity to like talk directly to the developers and say, hey, this is the kind of, this is the updates to the spectator client we would love, and all that kind of stuff. Being able to truly shape about the things that you just don't really think about.
Yep. Absolutely. If there's things that you guys are enjoying, or even like you're like, oh, I wish there was a little more of this visibility, like let us know. This is the first time we've done a community tournament. It's a community tournament for a reason, and we care about you guys, the community. So let us know. We will obviously, like, I know the guys who make this game are watching and hanging out with us right now, so it's a great chance to sort of chat.
Yeah,
I do have extraction suggestions. I have the color coding stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that it's just like you do your best to put together a spectator client for everybody that's private servers, and then things that you thought you had ready to go, all of a sudden it's like, wait, why are their colors changing? Why is it auto-filling the name on the bottom left with a different name? Like, there's just weird things like that you have happened. But that's why it's not like, this is the community tournament, so not, this is Pro League Week 1, like, we'll hopefully get there, We
will. I mean, honestly, though, because the things that have been asked for are often changed.
They actually, okay, so they had what, like, how many million? It was a lot. It was a lot.
Oh, the guys they found the bodies. No way.
Yeah, they found the bodies, so they get to come in and loot this all for free.
It was like 1.3 million. It was a lot.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Look at all so many areas. I'd be crafting for days, bro.
Yeah, so they had 4 point some odd million. They come in, they find 3 bodies, technically 6. Because there was one team that wiped.
Yep.
And then Tuna and boys came in and played spoiler.
Yeah, there's two fully wiped
immediately.
teams, you're right.
Yeah, so like they have so much loot to go through. This could be like a massive advantage.
They're gonna get juiced. Ammo is really the big moneymaker here. If it ain't orange, it's ammo. Okay. All right, we are in brackish, by the way. We got about 4 minutes left on this map. One group still playing, and they are getting 6.1 mil. What?
Oh my god.
That orange vest. Yeah, that's coming with me. Repair this bad boy. He is gonna be a monster in the next match. Because you're taking both guns with you at this point. No, man, because you want to take 2 out. Why not take both in? Because, like, your in value doesn't affect your out value. You can go in with a sniper and a gun and then drop with the sniper and go out with somebody else's gun for value ups.
That's true.
I mean, at this point, with 4 games left to play on an account, you'll probably be asked to delete after this. Why not take everything you got?
Dude, that's such a huge
6
valuation.
freaking boxes at extract, no less. And they still have, 3 minutes to go through and, like, cherry pick everything out of it? That's wild. I swear to God, I dare I say that Tuna Team 6 just won this game, right? Like, won the day for these guys.
I mean,
Who is this again that we're watching? I can't read the name.
this is Endless.
Endless, okay. That color switch again. Yes. Oh, Endless was looking good already, but geez, can you? And they, no one came through here. They would have had so much time to loot. That is 100%. I wouldn't say total noobs. They won the fight. Deadly Slop pushed with the hubris of 1,000 brutality Chads. Okay, he brought the full Chad energy. Chads just don't loot, sadly.
Yeah, dude, I thought that push was like so heroic. It was such a W move.
And then we're making jokes about how they're supporting each other for the res, and then they're
gone.
And
then they just disappear, and we're like, "What are you doing?" Like,
they're their best David Copperfield disappeared and ended up broke.
Oh, it's insane. Oh man.
Wild.
Like it's one thing to have that happen. It's another thing for a team that it was unbeknown to them to just stumble upon and be like, "Wait, why is all this loot here? What happened?"
That is so wild. Yes, because they wouldn't have known either. They literally
they
were
had no
walking
clue.
towards the extract. Because you know what happened? They found a box, and they're like,
Yeah.
dude, this is unlooted. Okay, look around. And all the bodies right there. Oh, that was so wild.
Jenny was like, we had no clue. We're like, what is going on? We heard fighting and thought people were roach. Yeah,
So they're
rightfully
going
so.
in there. You're right. They're going in there thinking, okay, watch every angle. Something terrible is about to happen. And instead, it's literally
You just keep
ultimate
finding
Christmas
boxes.
gift. That is
You just
wild.
keep finding boxes. Yeah.
Tuna Team hooked us up, said Maelstrom. Not incorrect.
Oh, man.
Congratulations, Endless. Because your raids are living up to the name of your team and you stay until the bitter end, it does seem to be working out. So congratulations. And honestly, this is what their strategy is, right? We go back to that game we saw here at Space yesterday or 2 days ago. We see the last game. Everything is about maximizing profits, running strategy, getting out late. And here is where the ultimate payoff comes in. Because I tell you what, the best way to make money in extraction shooters is to just take it from someone else, right? You don't have to do all the work. You don't have to find all the stuff. If you can just find it on their bodies. Also,
Yeah, I think
Tuna, come on. Go ahead.
Yeah, the difficulty too is like if you're Endless there, like they said, we heard a lot of action going down. We assumed some people were going to be stragglers and kind of picking up and trying to defend that point when they came in. We expected, hey, maybe one of those guys extracts, 2 of those guys extract. We've got one left over that's just trying to ruin our chances. But to have the complete antithesis of that happen and be like, no one's waiting. The only thing that is waiting is a bunch of loot for us to take out. Like our valuation just went up an extra couple million because of that. Like it literally doesn't get any better. So yeah, count your lucky stars, guys. That could be the difference between 3K and not 3K. So
That's
pretty crazy.
Right?
Pretty crazy.
Good for Tuna Team. Tuna Team was like, you know what? Let's just
Dude,
leave
I
this for
can't wait to
someone.
look at these highlights. We start off with a knife fight, right?
Yes, knife fight. But
You were
know
talking
what?
about Doctor Extract, and I'm like, you're crazy. There's no way. Like,
Yep.
dude,
Well,
this game had everything, man. Crazy good rotation on the flank to wipe out a very strong Comeback Kids team.
Yep. That Comeback Kids wipe was huge right here. It's
Oh,
where
it
you
was
see
nuts.
it. It's where Endless. I mean, we can say Tuna Team won the maybe a big time for them in that context, but the fact that they beat Comeback Kids, who have been one of the best fighting teams in the tournament so far, is huge, and set Endless up to loot themselves into a stupidly high amount of money and then stumble across even more. So that was the win that set them on the pace for sure. Though we will continue to say that it was Tuna's fault that they win the event if they do.
Well, it's nuts too, because it's like you saw how many fights did we see Tuna Team 6 be in? Where they lost a player, they were down, they came back, and then it's like, okay, we had this fight. This is how it all began. So we saw Team Squidward and E-Zone back and forth trying to fight really competitively in this. Hey, someone's going for revive, jump in. They get picked off by the other teammate. Okay, I'm going to go push in on the other side. Just kidding, there's a straggler further back that's waiting for me to do that. And it just went back and forth. And during all of that action, somehow Tuna Team 6 comes in and just zero care.
There it is.
Yeah, like
so they arrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
there's
you have
one
the arrow,
person
and-
left at that point, right?
Yeah, and Slob just comes in and he plays so aggressively and just wipes it, and then they extract with nothing.
Yike. Well, hey, I'll tell you what, though. That does say something. If you guys are extraction players who haven't tried this yet, there is a value to having a good extraction IQ when you make the transfer. It does make it significantly easier. As that instinct to push at that moment was very, very big. Dude, he saw that one ping on the arrow and was like, mine.
Oh, 100%.
They got one kill.
I love the commitment. I love the aggressive play. Like, it basically, outside of Endless, who got all the benefits, it opened up that top 3.
Big true. Big true. Squidward, 0 points. I'm kind of shocked at that situation for them. They had a rough go on the last one, only getting Howls out. They did manage to do some holding and got a couple million, but this one, they're going to come up with the goose egg. That's a team that I expected to do really well. Comeback Kids going to walk away with nothing as well. Not unexpected. The Comeback Kids are always going to have at least one bad game because of how aggressively they play, if not 2, but still can pull out big numbers. Tuna Team does get out with Knight. Is that 1 million? No, it's not. It's 193,000. So they got out, and that is cool. Good job, guys. Endless, though, 6 million. Not our biggest one.
We dog on that extraction, but
they got out.
Actually, they are second.
100%. Okay, listen. Honest, this is real talk. I tell pubs I play with, I tell squad mates, when it comes to extraction, people ask me, because I've got thousands of hours in these games, how do I get better? Like, what's the best way to enjoy this game? And I tell them, stop stressing about the loot and looking for the fights and just get out. Like, just go into the map and aim at getting out and take whatever you find with you on the way. You will learn the game inside and out, and you will make money, and you will survive. And that's the starting point, being great. Now, will you win the prize, first prize? Probably not. But you got out.
Will you give the first prize place to another team? Potentially.
Well, and I mean, 4 other teams got nothing, and there is a higher pay caliber.
If I can award like moment of the tournament, it is easily Tuna Team 6 coming in, wiping that squad and extracting like deuces, peace out immediately. Like
from going from game 1 where they died like a bunch of like frogs in the headlights, or deer in the headlight, kind of. I say frogs, like they look like they were being hunted and they were just staring at the lights. The second game they were like, no one pushes us around this time, and they came out and took a couple of battles and did pretty well. Top killers so far in the grand final, looking to win that $200. Curai and January tied for first.
Yeah, it's been a really good action-packed first 2 games already. Obviously, we've been exposed to both maps now, both Space City and Burkesh. Very, very excited to go back to Space City and see how that one plays out, because it was the same situation. Very early, very aggressive fights, despite people, I think, wanting to play a little bit more passive. The ones that were leading that, as always, were Comeback Kids. Very early engagements, somehow managed to get their team back and ready in those actions, but it is and has been E-Zone that has had their time to loot and do their thing, but this time they get caught in the third party. Crazy stuff across the board, man.
Oh, yes. All right. We're going to have an interview. I don't think... Oh, it is ready. F it. Let's get straight to the interview. We can talk about value makers later. I want to talk to this guy because they were at the receiving end of one of the biggest donk attacks ever. We're going to sit down with Darkin from E-Zone. Hello. Welcome, Darkin. I'm going to start out by saying, did you know that Tuna Team was planning on backstabbing you guys in that fight? Did you know that they were anywhere near you?
Yes, we heard about it. We know that there's the gate 2. I think we're on the west gate, and the other team is on the east gate, and they didn't move. So we have concerns that they may hide somewhere else. And we fight a team under the ground in the tower, so we know there's 2 teams around. Yeah, we do know that. And when we get to the extraction point, we heard somewhere they're fighting at North Place. So we know there's about 4 teams around us. Okay. We heard about it.
So you know that information and all that's happening, yet you still choose to take the engagement. You still choose to play that a little bit aggressively because you know it's like, hey, if we don't do that, we're going to be swarmed, right? So kind of take me through the thought process of how that all played out from your guys' perspective. Like, I want to get an inside look in the comms. Also, I have no idea what happened to my camera, but we got to fix that. I'm going to refresh real quick.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead. You can go ahead. Tell us about your thought process going into that fight. Like, from the moment that you knew you had to push to getting attacked.
The last one we tried to extract. Is that the one we tried to extract before in front of the tower? Oh, because we loot a lot for that one. I think we got 3 million or something like that. Because we already have an advantage at the first match. So we think we're just gonna make it just. I mean, we're not going to kill it, like, because we have no information. We don't know how many a lot. at that point. So we're just trying to extract, and we don't want to wait for the last one because I think the one in the north extraction point was used during that time. I think at 15 minutes or 20 minutes, someone used that. So we have no idea who extract already or not. So we don't want to wait for the last one, which is at 5 minutes. So we want to use the last second one. So which may probably not lure too many people around. Yeah, so because we don't know, like many people they just came to this point and they're trying to kill us. That's the thing we didn't imagine. Yeah, and we also have backup plan because we're trying to kill some team over there and trying to grab their dog tags, so we can even we have someone die, so we can still grab the dog tag to go back to the tower and have someone extracted with the most value with that. So that's our thoughts.
Awesome. So do this for me because we didn't get to watch you guys in the group stages. You were in Group E, which was not shown on stream, and you dominated that lobby in ways that I've never seen before. Tell me a little bit about that day. Was it just a very easy lobby, or what strategy did you have that made you guys so strong?
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't streamed at that time. But I mean, that's a good team. There's a lot of great players around. We just make a good strategy, and for every spawn point, because based on the rule we have currently, so for each point there are always a good solution for each point. So we just made a strategy before the match starts. So
Chance put in the homework.
Because this game is more like, especially the Space City, is more like a Counter-Strike, because you have to calculate every second. So for first 2 minutes in each match of the Space City, the farthest place you can get, the farthest place you can move to, is calculated. So we calculated everything. So if we didn't see someone over there, then we know there's nobody over there.
Interesting.
It's a very analytical approach, which I think Toffees and I both really appreciate. To say it's calculated. We know exactly the way we want to approach this, and we're enacting that. So I think the last question that I have for you in particular, because I don't want to steal Toffees, the one he's probably going to take. It has to be just in regards to this process in general. Obviously, these community tournaments are something very new for Delta Force players. Something where you are in a lobby with other high-level players. It's all in a controlled environment. You guys have a wiped account, essentially, where you're all starting from scratch except for the elite tokens. How has that experience been? Has it been enjoyable to say, hey, we've got to start from scratch and kind of figure things out and build that strategy? Especially for a team that seems to be very calculated in your approach.
Do you mind to repeat? I didn't really.
Yeah, so with you guys coming into Delta Force, this is a private lobby, right? It's a different experience from what you're used to compared to, hey, we hopped into pubs and we do our thing. What has that experience been like for you guys? Has it been enjoyable? Do you like the challenge? Do you like playing against better players? How's that whole experience been?
I mean, it's a wonderful journey for me, and I mean, also for probably a lot of the other players in the surround. It's a great opportunity for us to see each other during the match, because probably a normal play, like during the normal time we're playing, we probably can't face each other, because they probably play at a different time. We're in different time zone, or probably different a server or region. So sometimes we cannot see all players around. And now, we have people who have passion on this game, who are very competitive, and they're tough guys. I mean, it's really enjoyable, for everybody, because we're trying our best to do our best at all the same time. Everybody's trying to win this. It's fun. There's a lot of fun for that.
I love that. Now,
absolutely love that.
I want to make sure you get time to get back to your team, just because you guys are strategic. You want to plan for the next match. Before I let you go, though, is there any shout-outs you want to give, any plugs you want to put out for your team, anything like that? The floor is yours for just a moment.
Well, there's not too much. I just want to say this is a great journey, and thank you all of you guys to join with us.
I love that. All right, go back to your team. Play a great map 3. We'll see you soon.
And thank you too for broadcasting all the time.
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Here's what I love about that we just saw, Adam. 2 things. First off, I have asked these players every single time to go ahead and plug your stream, your socials, whatever you want to. And I am used to Hey, check out my new YouTube videos coming out next week. We're streaming. Here's my schedule. I'm going to be over here. Let's shout out to my organization and so and so and so. These guys are playing for the love of the game. Every time I ask them to plug their things, they're like, don't really have any of that. I'm just here because I love playing Delta Force and I'm really good at it. Second thing I loved, A, they're planning, but we'll get into that in a second. But B, the attitude that he had of, you know what? We don't always get to play against everybody who's the best because of time zones and everything else. I love that I could be getting my butt handed to me right now. Like, these are the best of the best, and I love that I get a chance to play against them. That's a champion's mentality.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic, but I think we're already over time. You and I are so ready to like talk and engage and be like, heck yeah, like let's hear more from these guys that get to compete. But we also have a show we have to get through under certain time limitations because for those that don't know, our production team is working double shifts. So we are going to go to a quick break. We're going to set up match 3 when we come back, you guys. Space City action number 2. We'll go. We'll take a short one, I think, this time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I promise.
asked for standings, and we're back to bring you standings. My name's Toffees. This is Lawler, and we are breaking down the action. Are we going to
hit my monitor? I just hit my monitor.
I went the wrong way.
You went the wrong way. Try it again.
Here we go.
Nope. I got to go this way now. Yeah. You're just punching me in the face. That's all you're doing. You're extending it way too far.
Dude, one day we're going to work it out where someone's sitting in the room next to you, and they don't realize, and I can do that. Just come across the Slack.
Set up two separate green screens, but it actually...
listen, this is how much we enjoy doing these sorts of things, is we have to come up with jokes the whole way through. All right, we're back to the game. Let's talk about it. Last one was game number 2. We're going back to Space City for our third match, and it was a wild game. We saw a lot of teams get out early, some of our favorites go down, and then Tuna Team 6, third parties, a wicked fight, and leaves the money on the ground, where Endless, because they never leave early, shows up and takes it all.
It's such a ridiculous sentence. And I'm so happy it's real. The highlights are there to cement it in history. Like, it's so good. Yeah, what a wild ending. And to know we still have 2 more of these to go. I can't wait. We're jumping back to Space City, what seems to be everybody's favorite. One of these days, we're going to ask a follow-up question as to why it's their favorite. Everybody just says they like it more. And we've kind of alluded to why we think that might be. But maybe a direct answer from these guys is probably a good idea.
I do think there's a certain sense of, like, so Space City was the first, there wasn't the first map, right? Like, everybody starts on Zero Dam, so that's kind of a darling, but it's the first competitive map that truly came out. Like, Leali in the alphas, in the test phases, was fun, but it wasn't hyper fight competitive. And then they dropped Space City on us, and I remember how crazy excited everybody was and spent so much time because it was a fight forward loot and shoot map. And I think that that's something that appeals a lot to these players as they go in there. And, you know, I was watching Slob stream between matches, and he said, you know, I think we'll do well if we don't die in the first 3 minutes. And that's where Space City, he's right, is actually stands. Is if you can survive that first contact, because teams are spawned next to one other team almost every time, then the game changes significantly and it becomes a little more of a strategic push through. Now, we did say we'll give you standings. Let's walk through those standings. Tuna Team 6, after a tough first match, moves into 4th place with 193,000. So that's still a good glow up. Extraction does matter. He's right.
Yep, into the money as compared to some other people, which is the important thing. Obviously, everybody going to walk away with some prize pool unless you were in that 6th place. So, again, right now, comeback kids who have been aggressive, the difference for them has been the shots, the kills, the things that are separating them from that last place spot. So it is paying off, but the thing that matters most is, yes, extracting, but you need to make sure you have stuff worth money in that extraction as you go out. You can't just leave it on the ground for Endless to add to their spoils. So the fact that every single player averaging over 2 million is absolutely insane, and everybody else at this point is going to have to try to play catch up.
It does seem like they are. So when you watched Europe, it didn't seem very fight forward, right? Like, teams were looking to play like most of our lobby is right now, which is careful, take some fights, fade away, get the loot, and then battle over the extraction. Endless seems to have a different strategy than anybody else does. This idea that they are avoiding those early fights as much as they can. They are more than happy to take these sorts of trades. They get their knocks, but they're also willing to fade very quickly if they get into trouble. And that, I think, is what's impressive, is they get those kill counts, but a lot of those kills didn't result in total flushes. Like, they got the kills, and that they use that time to move away or to re-rotate. And they let teams, they're like, you know what, you want to get everyone back up? That's fine. You're going to end up fighting somebody else because we've boxed you out. We've proven that you can't come here. Go clear an extraction for us, and then we'll show up later. And I think that in a world with 6 teams doing it might not work, but the fact that Endless has sort of figured this out is working really, really well for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a fight disengage type mentality, but at the same time, we saw them take that flank. We saw them surround comeback kids and absolutely demolish them. They knew, like, hey, this building, and that's what comes into play when everybody talks about, hey, play this play style, do this thing, like, take the time to learn the maps and just enjoy it. A lot of the reason why is that map and that game IQ is absolutely crucial. So they know, like, hey, based upon this building, the only place they can go is upstairs into that back balcony. Let's go get it. Like, rotate around, find that shot. If it's there, we'll suffocate. And then they push both the stairs and that back side, and it's like full team wipe, an extra mill in your pocket, and then they coast the rest, and it was done well.
And you bring up a good point, because we see the same thing with E-Zone, that these teams that have just insane map knowledge are really benefiting from it. But that's an extraction shooter in general, right? Like, the better you know the map, honestly, any battle arena game, if you know the map,
general,
you will do better.
Now, on top of that, obviously, we are 2 rounds through, now into our 3rd. We're jumping into Space City. Toffees, for everybody watching who's maybe a little bit unfamiliar, can you give, obviously while this fight breaks down, maybe we'll have to jump back into the action, but the general overview of what we're doing today, specifically the play type, the style, what they can do, how they're coming in, the elite tickets, all that kind of stuff.
So just so you
for
guys know,
people who are just joining us.
This is operations. It's like an extraction shooter style of mode. The goal is 6 teams who made it through the semifinals are here fighting against each other over 4 maps, Space City and Breckish. You have to get out to get money. If you make it out, your valuation is added together and put on the scoreboard. Whoever has the most money at the end of the 4 games will be our champion and take home the big prize. Now, they got fresh accounts for this event, so it's not like you spent months farming for it. And everyone is using elite gear tickets to choose what gear sets to bring into this map. So it's not the same armor and the same bullets you might be used to in a traditional game of Space City, but it does put a focus on the players having to use strategy and maybe the TTK, the time to kill, being a little bit longer than they're particularly used to, which I think, Adam, is why we're seeing such a focus on strategic operators, smokes, Luna, things like that, because they aren't able to burn people down as fast as they're used to.
Oh, at the same time, you're seeing people pull away from sprays at times too. There is that timing that you get used to based upon muscle memory of like, if I shoot for this long, they should die. And you're pulling away a little bit sooner than what you're used to. So yeah, there is certain times where these kills are being left open, but obviously for Cujo right now, he knows exactly this player is there. He's waiting for his opportunity. But the same thing for Team Squidward. They're just trying to jump peek and see if they can find, because they saw the shots come out. They know someone is nearby. But how are they approaching this? Are they staying in that same spot? And I think if you're Lime, like, it's a good peek angle. You've got a good heady lined up. You might as well stay.
So as far as I know, for the chat answer second, I believe that they do not, like, they can re-roll just like the rest of us, and they could sell the items that they got out with to try to put cash in the bank. But it's still, I think, 400,000 a re-roll. So do with it what you will. Yep. So you're giving credit. And you can sell your items. So reroll is feasible, but you couldn't reroll 30 times before you'd run out of, I think the elite reroll is like 200K, 400K, something like that.
It's a hefty amount.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of money, so I've never actually pushed the reroll button on my elite tickets, but it is something in that ballpark. Me and my $3 million bank account are pushing a reroll on that. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, so taking a look at the map here, northeast, we got 2 teams, both part of Squidward and then E-Zone. That's the fight we were just paying attention to a little bit outside of hoisting and assembly. Jumping back into the action, though, it seems like, again, trying to surround this team to the best of their ability. Again, benefits of having the outside is they can kind of rotate and suppress. Big peak initially, good shots, and then again, immediately reposition, going for that angle. We talked about this exact same situation very similarly to what we saw last game where they took out Comeback Kids. Sure, we're going to disengage if we need to, but if the fight's there, we're not afraid to take it.
Well, I think Squidward hasn't blocked in. Like, there's not much they can do, right? Besides
this
take
is
this
also
fight.
E-Zone, not the spectator on the bottom left. Always look at the mini-map. I'm going to learn that lesson.
Yep. Oh, good for you. All right, so Squidward is locking out E-Zone right now, and I think E-Zone has to pretty much come through this area if they want to loot anything on this map. Just trying to mantle, get as many angles as he can.
Oh, he actually has it blocked.
Toes, bros. Looks like he might have taken some time to...
I'm curious what are Lyman darken up to.
Right. No,
like, I'm not being like, guys, come help, but like, if they're looting and kind of doing their thing, which again, their valuation is still at 0, so they've got to be nearby. Uh-oh, that's not good for Light.
Nope.
Because even if he tries to disengage, there's going to be 2 chasing him down.
Yep, they're looking for him now, so he is falling back as fast as he can. They do push out to counter him. His teammates, there they are. Starting to respond, I think. I think he was just trying to hold. All right, here they come.
Dude, it's endless
breaching.
Comeback Kids again, man. So they're going to trade one. There's only one left. Can he clutch out? No, that's another wipe.
Yep.
Again, Endless takes out Comeback Kids.
Endless has got their number, man. Comeback Kids were just having a good loot, scoot, and boogie. And second time, they run it Endless. Here's that fight, has picked back up. Did they do it?
I think so.
While we were gone. They beached them.
Dude, that's 2 teams full wipe. That's insane.
Oh, and now he's purpled up with the purple ammo. Feels good.
two big players, man, completely removed.
You think? So E-Zone obviously plays strategy, right? And like they seem to have things pre-planned. I wonder if he was there to try to bait them into a push. Because I don't understand. We'll have to go back and watch that at some point. Because that wipe was fast.
So
grab a few more items.
So E-Zone, like we saw in the interview when we talked to Dark, and he's like, we have a strategy essentially for every single spot.
Yep, I love that.
Every single spot where we land, there's an optimal way that we want to play, and we're sticking to it. So maybe that was part of it. He's like, we have to take this engagement because we know if we don't, there's going to be this problem. Even with that on the outside, we did see Tuna, you know, like they're peeking that angle and just taking shots. They're happy to put shots down and then engage because like E-Zone went from game one where they were passive, they didn't see anybody, just looted and extracted, to now just being the enforcer.
You're right. I think you're right. E-Zone does follow their pass. And I think it's interesting because that's a really cool strategy to hear. But it's going to be a tough one in tournament 2, 3, 4, right? Because people are going to watch the VODs and know exactly what their strategy is. And then it's an issue of like, all right, well, I know E-Zone's going to be here in 6 minutes. I'll just wait for him.
No vest on Deadly here. That could be problematic. Yeah, he's going to start taking damage like crazy. We heard the EU guys say it, and I'm going to repeat that helmet's basically on by the chin strap. Like, not a whole lot left.
Hanging on by a chin strap. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Blank, those guys are like kind of good at what they do.
I'll give Blank credit for that one. All right, taking a look around, trying to find their friends. This is E-Zone we're watching right now. Though, shout out to Cujo for getting so much press in this event.
Yeah, right.
It's like every time it's Cujo.
Every time he comes to chat, he's like, "It's not me," and I'm like, "Nah, man, it's good. Like, you look sick. You're
you look
everywhere,
great, bro.
You're so good."
All right, here we go. So this is the E-Zone play. They were baiting down there on the corner. Remember, Light took shots, fell back to this position. Squidward decides to push. They get the opening knock. It's just they just had all the angles. There's just they literally just fell back and held angles. That had to have been a trap that they work on.
Yeah, I think the play is really good. You know, for Lime to have that position on the left side and just hover that. So like, obviously, if you push out that, it completely opens up that fight because there's that obstruction that's in the middle of the field, so you can wrap wide if you need to, and then you can also get height. So for them to be able to hold that angle, so they have to only pinch back into a one-way street where you have to feed back into us. It's really well held.
And that's kind of what he mentioned. He said, you know, on space, there's places where like you have to fight someone or you have to like do these things on a track. And so I think that's as close as you're going to get to a set piece in Delta Force, right? Like those guys knew, hey, when you get cornered here, you set this up, and sometimes it works. Come on, come on.
Oh, please be a gamer.
What? Oh, I'm not there anymore, am I? Wow, what a bold push.
Yeah, I was about to say, is this man gonna...
He broke. No, he didn't. Wow.
Dude, I don't know what Light is on today, but boy is feeling confident as ever, and I love it.
That was a practiced move. For going railing to drop down to little railing, there was no leg break. He was able to make a drop that no one else can make. Some like Dill Hero stuff. Meanwhile, back at the Tuna.
Just disengage? Yeah, do they just disengage? They keep running away?
I respect them for running as a group the entire, like they never separate these
two. Yeah.
It's like it's like that line of kids at the, you know, when you walk into like the mall and they're all holding a rope.
Yeah, who's the mom with the leash and who's wearing the monkey backpacks, you know? Like
I had a kid had a monkey backpack. It was awesome.
Dude, I always saw those at like, I used to work at the mall in retail when I was younger.
Yeah.
And like you always see that, I'm like, oh, that kid's in trouble. Should have busted out the monkey backpack. That kid ain't going anywhere. He got off the leash.
Okay, like Bullets.
You always knew when he was in trouble.
I want to say I did. I thought I heard a break, but I didn't see the debuff pop up, so that makes sense.
Yeah. You're like Tuna at this point. You're like, dude, when do we get to loot? Like, when do we just get to stop being shot at for like a little bit? Taking a look at that map too. So they did disengage completely outside of the west gate. So a little bit of freedom as E-Zone starts to push in. Again, it shows Team Squidward top right. They're never going to move. They're done. And then it was also
They're
Comeback
heavy.
Kids. So where you see Devo in the middle in that blue, the dark blue, also eliminated team.
So all right, so they don't have to worry about being contested. Orange is done and dusted. Tuna's having a great time. They don't seem to know that they're happily safe up there by the West Gate, but get a little loot. Not too shabby. These guys are just camping.
Yeah, unless it's just sitting on extraction point, man.
Yep. They recently learned how much money can be made in extractions. See any boxes, guys? This is no signal. Popular player. Your little hack of using the mini-map doesn't work here, does it, Adam?
No, and I hate it. It is still the E-Zone guys. And I'm not confident to say it's a Lime or Darken.
Right.
I don't know who's who. It's one of those two.
I know who it's not.
Okay, it is Lime. Lime's got the AUG. I gotta put that down in my brain.
Let's check back over here. This is Tropa. Playing slow. Looking for the arrow. Oh. Whoo! These aren't the attachments you're used to, are they, boys?
Dude.
Oh, no way. E-Zone.
He's got another one right there, and then he's got the full team too.
What?
Okay, so if he peeks left, there's gonna be a player. He's the only one left.
Yeah.
It's just Kurai.
They double dumped him. That was insane. He double dumped them.
If you cry, how do you play this? All right, let's see if you can clutch it. 1v3, buddy. Your team just got flushed. You know that.
You got half your vest. Got a sick AUG.
If you're endless, this is like make or break. Because if you win this trade, you basically win the game.
Yep.
He's got one more in front of him. He's got the spray.
Yo, he got the transfer.
Okay, now you got a 1v1.
No, he killed them all, didn't he?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because he was rezzing his butt. No, he wasn't. He was looting.
Yeah.
Okay,
There should be one left, right?
No, maybe not. Yes, do that. Thank you, guys.
Let's double check.
All right, so he comes up. He gets the double knock initially.
So that's 2 on endless.
Yeah, that was sexy.
So now there's only Kurai left. There's 1.
1, 2. Oh, because he got a
dude.
knock. He got an opening knock, so he was going for the res. It looked like, and then he went ahead and dumped his buddy.
What a clutch! What a clutch!
Wow.
Kurai, you're a hero, my dude.
I applaud you, sir. That
how-
could be the tournament.
Dude, for how dominant E-Zone has been in this game, sitting in what, second place, I think,
Yep.
right behind. For
And that
them to
opening
wipe that, dude,
spray.
it opens everything up. Like Endless just goes, hey, we were in first place, now we're really in first place.
Yeah. Also, their apparently strategy of just get your loot at the extract is huge.
Yeah, that's such a good play.
Yeah. But honestly, after that opening double spray by E-Zone, maybe they were just overconfident. They're like,
I mean, I understand. Like, I think the difficulty in a lot of these too is like you have such a good advantage that you just have to remind yourself to stay calm and take a step back. So we're officially just shy, or no, yeah, just shy. I think they have 25 minutes, so 15 minutes officially left. Still plenty of time to work with, but we've got 3 teams fully wiped.
Yep.
It's only half the lobby left.
Half the lobby and still all the extracts. Now that is our 15-minute mark hit, so the Rockets is going to be available soon. Those are Jets. You may be familiar with them from the movie West Side Story. Sick.
Or the... No, I'm not even going to say that. That's 2 p.m. I had to reel that one back. I almost was like, I'm about to dog on this man. I'm like, nope. Can't do it.
Me? You're going to call me that old?
No, not you.
Oh, okay. Well, because I am. This guy's a real problem.
The person I was going to dog on would have never... Like, there's no reason they would ever watch this podcast. They're like AAA celebrity status, but we don't need to pick fights.
We want to pick fights with AAA celebrities?
No, they got a lot of money.
They do. Good for them, I guess. Yeah,
What's
that's
that
definitely going to be a
NPC?
meta.
That's... We say it wrong because it's funnier. That's Moulins, but it's 100% French. and it's like des
Moulins.
moulins, something like that.
Moulins.
But yeah, so the person, like, we saw it in EU on day one during qualifiers and semis, and it was so funny because someone took shots from that extraction point from really far away, and Demoulin has a crazy snipe, and then they go prone and then they barrel roll left and right. So it was basically this 1v1 battle for a majority of the game that was super funny. They didn't get anything out of it until they finally killed them, but production like zoomed in super far with the free cam, and it jump cut to Demoulin and like staring directly at you. It was the funniest thing
That's
ever.
actually pretty funny.
Yeah, go back and check the VOD if you guys missed any of the tournament. I highly recommend it.
Oh. Right. Injury sound effects in this game.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back to Endless. On the extraction still.
He just
Wow.
got junked.
He almost died. That was crazy. That's a good nade. I can already tell you it's a good nade.
Good job. Catch.
So,
It actually hit him.
yeah, I did.
Half health again.
Nades for days. I got the knock. Endless is trying to get some. Meanwhile,
See,
rolling around.
That's Demoulin.
Damn.
Like, dude,
He flips
the
him
most,
off.
dude, it's the most toxic security director I've ever seen. Like, I love it.
I love that he was like, "We're under attack. Give me
Look,
my
there's
M80."
there's the spin. Wait for the shot. If you come in vision, like, it chunks you for like legitimately like 85 health. It's insane. I would be surprised if that's how Kirai went down.
Boss got the knock, so they don't know. That's hilarious. It is.
So good.
Oh no. Let him go. Let him go. I mean, you're up by so many millions. It doesn't matter if you lose one guy's million. You know what I mean? Just keep holding the extracts. That boss will do it to you, man. Oh, he's a
Dude,
dick.
I'm telling you. So I'm pretty sure Demoulin is the one that knocked Kirai.
No way.
Yeah, I think Kirai
Yeah,
is the one that got knocked by Demoulin.
Kirai came into
because
chat and said the boss got him.
That's so funny.
No.
It's unfortunate, but it's.
I just want to take the rocket, man. Oh my God.
What?
And everybody's using tickets, so you don't even have the scopes you need to possibly fight back.
And if you did have the scope, you took it off because you're.
Did he get a double? He got a double. Look at this guy. He's a hero.
Watch. Wait for it.
Oh, in the back of the head. Where's the second one? There it is. And then he rolls afterwards. Look how cool I am.
It's so BM. I love it.
Boss is the MVP.
Dude, can you imagine? Okay, say we're like I hope no matter how much players complain, they never remove that.
Right?
Like legitimately. Because imagine we're in like a in the future, it's like a 100K tournament, grand finals, blah blah blah,
yeah.
and Demoulin is the true like raid boss. Like,
and you find his interview files one day come out. Uh-oh.
There's one on his left too. He's got to be careful.
This is Tropa
No way.
against the Tunas. Tropa gets a double. 10 minutes left in the match.
I think he's in the back right corner, but he's not. He's completely retreating. He's got high ground now too.
Yep.
Oh, it's gonna be a tough fight.
I wonder if Demoulin. So remember when E-Zone got flushed? We saw that knock by the first player.
Yeah.
Like, I think they thought the other, like, it was a knock. It had to have been a knock by the sniper.
No, I think what ended
You
up
don't think
happening. So what started Demoulin to engage was the when those orange grenades and stuff came in. I think because of the airstrike and all that kind of stuff, it actually triggered the aggro, and then it started happening. But that initial fight, I think all the shots were facing away from it, so I don't think it triggered anything. Again, we'd have to go back and check the VOD to be 100% certain, but
Someone
yeah,
named
unless
Maelstrom is
you
telling
shoot
us
in the
what
vicinity at it, it doesn't pull aggro.
is Maelstrom.
Oh no, endless.
Oh no. What?
Dude, what is going on in this game?
What? GG. It is like. What? All right, so the tunas have been killed. They have a great market value.
I've never been happier to be commentating and not playing. Like,
what?
To not be on the receiving end of this chaos is great. Like, everybody's been like, bruh, Space City's the GOAT.
I love
this
Space
map.
City.
This
GOAT
Space
Space
City. Getting sniped by bosses. You've got vehicles coming in and shooting you and smoking you out. You've got robots that are exploding. Like,
I mean, that man was so
thing is
desperate.
still
He's carrying
shooting his
around
dead body.
seasonings. Oh. I guess the rocket's out of the question.
yeah.
So is that thing linked to Desmolin, or do you have to kill them both individually?
Honestly, I think you do whatever you can to just get out of this war zone.
Yep. And we're down to one team.
Yeah. No, it's yep.
Yep.
Yeah, no, one
it's
team.
Desmolin. It's just Desmoulin.
Demoulin.
Desmoulin ruins your game. We're hiding stuff. We're hiding stuff.
Dude, I am so happy that like the legend that is Demoulin is like is gonna go down in history, man. I'm telling you.
That's wild. So what do? They can't go rocket. You gotta go no backpack, I guess.
I don't know.
You're right, Melsham. He's 4-0. Does he win the money?
Goated Katie right now.
I can't believe that.
Like, yo, what happened in game 3? Dude, the boss
I love the
went
entire community has been complaining about this guy for the last month is gonna be like, see?
No, you keep it in. I think if we ever do like a true pro league and stuff like that, I think you have to keep it in because it's just hilarious.
Oh my gosh, it's fragging the body. That's true. So that one player left. So they didn't know backpack. They got some money out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see. Actually, no, 2 players ended up leaving. So that's what the little icon is with the dude running. So they got 2 out.
Are we camping the extract for the next 6 minutes just in case someone else is alive? That's got to be what we're doing. Yeah, no valuable stuff. You just sit here and hold the extract.
Yeah, you're sitting like 55k. Yeah, 50.
Because they have no idea the
57K.
lobby. There's no way for them to know the lobby's dead. Like,
yeah.
If anything, this says, yeah.
Especially when you hear tanks and gunshots still going down like crazy.
Yep.
Like that tank is still shooting Endless's dead body. It has not stopped.
So, big gulps, huh?
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to get our post-game interview with Demoulin?
Honestly, yeah, if we can get some voice lines from Demoulin, that would be goated. From the
Every time we ask him a question, he rolls off this camera.
Yeah.
And rolls back on.
So 2 minutes.
Yep.
No, 5 minutes. I lied.
5 minutes. Someone tell this man and just get him out. Mm. 5 minutes left.
At this point, if I don't think you would know, but like I'm going to fight Demoulin at this point. I'm just like, you know what? It's a moment of pride.
But they may not even know that Demoulin
they
was
have
an
no
issue,
idea.
right?
They have no clue.
So for those of you watching, the rest of his team has gone out with most of the loot. Everything left in his bag is green and really rudimentary stuff. So what he's doing is he's holding here to be spoiler if there's another team trying to use extract. Or really do anything.
Again, still killing Endless.
Yep.
That
Insult
tank
to
has
injury.
not let up. It is still attacking the body that it has already murdered.
They think it's him hearing the tank shooting is making him sad. Can't even hear it.
No. It's peaceful as heck over here.
Over here, it's nice.
Even got a safety cone. Cautions are up. When we talk about like it being a war zone, like you're fighting a war out there, look at the map and you're just like, okay, there was a like we can basically recap this while we have the time for this time to run
Right,
out.
sure.
So it's like start in top right, crazy fight between E Zone and Team Squid.
Yep.
They rotate in through the middle. During that, Comeback Kids gets wiped by, I think Squidward had them again, or was it Endless wiped Comeback Kids?
Yep. It was Endless Comeback Kids fight for the second.
Yeah.
Because they fought in the last game.
Endless
Squidward goes
is then
down
sitting
to
on
E-Zone.
Endless is sitting on the bridge.
Yep.
Demula, the legend that is, snipes 2 after there was a double knock, and before that 2 snipes happened, E-Zone pushed in, knocked 2, and then Karai 1v2'd. And
one of the best
clutched
double
them
knocks
out.
I've ever seen. I still need to know, how did that E-Zone guy get knocked? Because I think he was going for a res when he got the double burn. Like, Kurai peaked, and he was definitely... I don't think he was looting. I think he was rezzing his teammate.
Yeah, I think he, on the initial frag, he might have knocked 1. Because there was one solo that was a little bit further ahead from what it looks like. So they did manage to get 1 there. Which I assume if they were camping the extraction point, they just caught him off guard, right? Like, hey, we already have 3 here. You run in. But then you saw a double frag from E-Zone, which made it a 1v2. Karai clutched, and then Demula, the legend is, knocked 2, and then January ran around before they died. And now we're still with Tropa, who has Yoshin left just chilling. And Tuna got picked off by, I think, I don't know who Tuna got picked off by. Maybe it was
Got picked
Tropa.
off by... It was these guys right here.
Yeah.
It was Tropa.
Dude, what a crazy game.
Oh, and somehow you survived the rocket launch, too? Listen, security director should understand that laying there is suicide. Just saying.
Security director doesn't stop for anyone. And I'm worried if this guy... If Yoshin peeks the wrong way, like, security director is about to make a 5th kill.
Yep. Oh, there we go. It's go time.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know if Yoshin can get out. It's
Saving
right
Private
now.
Yoshin. Saving Private Yoshin.
How much time you got? You got a little over a minute? Anything good?
I mean, that was a full armor versus a not full armor. Interesting choice. And the roll after.
Dude. Oh, God. Are you going to get claimed victim too?
I just let him kill you at this point. 44 seconds. What are you going to do? Come on. Make it 6-0. 5-0. I think it's actually 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Oh, yeah, that sounded good.
That's...
This has been the most
Gonna
ridiculous
remember
40
that
seconds
next
I've ever
round.
seen, yeah. Hey, you walk. That's funny.
Just fading off into the sunset, broken leg.
Fair enough. Just let it happen.
Oh, what a round, dude. What a round.
3, 2, 1. Cool. I'm also here like, yeah, guys, you don't understand how terrible that boss is. Like, it is what it is. Oh, that's funny. All right, so that's game 3 done. We got 1 more to go. We're going to Brekesh, so we don't have to worry about Mulan ruining the entire, honestly, wiping the lobby. 4 kills, I think, is what they got. And
Yeah, almost
massive game impact, because all of those kills were at super high value moments. That's wild.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We tried to recap it. This had a little bit of everything for us. We had a really good fight. We talked to Darkin in the interview and said, hey, we've got a very calculated approach on how we approach every single zone, and they enacted that to perfection. They immediately set up shop. They forced the fight out into the street only one way because they had the other angle held, and people were in position to take them out. So we saw that fight. They were able to transition in. Same time, we saw Endless wipe Comeback Kids out of the gate as well in a really good fight in the middle of the map. Tuna and the guys, they got flushed to the outside. They went to the west bridge, and just as they rotated in, Zone was already set up. Same with Tropa, and like it was just one fight after another, and then somehow an NPC really stole the show. It was pretty crazy, man.
And Tropa, the only team to get out with 900,000, just short of 1 million. That should move them up into, I think, the top 3 off the back of that game.
Oh, it's a massive accomplishment.
Yep, it is, because that one like I think everybody who came to chat, all the pros who are hanging out are like, hey, when she's in that spot, there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Especially if you didn't come kitted for it. And these players are using gear tickets, so they aren't equipped the way that they would need to deal with that boss. But again, it just is what it is. And now you got to shake it off. You got to get past that, because you got one more game to play. And when we come back, we got one more match, and we'll crown a champion of the first ever Delta Force community event tournament for operations mode. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
on. Almost dead.
Admit defeat, rookie. Give it to me.
What? How do you think about it? You don't know what you're doing. Give it back.
Dare you look down on me! Give it to me!
Looks like it's my turn.
We're back, baby! It's time for round number 4 and to crown a champion of the first ever community tournament. Chat's asking, are we gonna do more? I hope to goodness we do, because this has been so much fun. The players across the board seem to enjoy it. I think you guys are having a great time. Even with the hiccups, Adam, and you know, we can be honest, community tournament, you're gonna have hiccups sometimes. It has been really a good, solid first offering, a pleasurable experience, which makes sense because when they gave me the beta, the alpha for this, it was the same thing. I turned it on and was like, oh my gosh, this game is so polished.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the general sentiment everybody's going to walk away with was we had fun. You know, both us on the casting side as well as everybody who's competing. It has been a very enjoyable experience. Sure, it's not perfect and there's things to improve upon, but I think we all do that coming in. But the reality is the entertainment side has been definitely there. It's been super enjoyable. There's been some goofy moments here and there that maybe Dave Moolah gets removed for competitive integrity purposes.
Boo.
But I'm gonna try to veto that decision. And then the other side, all the players we've talked to, they've been like, yeah, it's a great game. It's super fun. Just hop in and play. It's free. It's on Steam. It doesn't cost you a penny.
Yep.
And like, we're enjoying this next tier of competition that we've never been exposed to before. So the fact that like the reception to it has been nothing but positive, it's like, yeah, hopefully we get another one. Hopefully another 10.
Yeah, I would love more than 10. I would love all of them. Now, let's talk about what's about to come. So standings right now, Endless is at top significantly. E-Zone and Squidward in a chase to catch them. It can be done. We saw a team get 8 million in the first day of play, so a big extraction is possible. All you gotta do is find yourself a big heart or some other red item and you're back in this thing. Currently, Team Tuna is in 5th because of their interesting extraction earlier in the match, and have a chance to stay there if our last place team, which I believe is it Comeback or Trope? It's Comeback right now, which is shocking, to be honest. If Comeback Kids doesn't have a big game and doesn't get out, then Tuna may actually walk away with some cash in their pocket. And I've got a feeling that this is going to be a very exciting, big, massive, impactful game for Tuna Team 6. Deadly Slob and the boys aren't going to go out like that. I guarantee they're going to come out and put their hearts on the line, everything on the field, and probably go deep in this match. What do you think?
It is 1000% an all or nothing. You said it at the very beginning. We are going to see chess here. And the reality is, if they do not get extraction with enough points to make up for everybody else, like, you're done. So there is two sides to that. Do you realize that it is a little too much out of reach, and maybe we are just trying to do whatever we can to get a couple? Oh no!
No, E-Zone! You sons of bees!
Oh man!
It was gonna be a big game. It was gonna.
Don't tell me you're gonna wipe them immediately. Oh no!
It was.
Good peek. Nice climb up there
good
on the top side. One left. Oh, you gotta pre-fire that. You saw with that.
Oh, he jumped over him!
Oh,
That's
no.
it. That's
They're done.
it. They're done. Well, I said it was going to be an exciting game for them.
I mean, it was exciting. It just ended in less than a minute.
That was fast. So they could still get 5th, right? Like, theoretically. I mean, if the Comeback Kids go down. That's E-Zone, though. Like, let's talk E-Zone, because that's what they do, is they know the spawns on this map so freaking well. And they always make sure that they are in a position to win the first fight or not be involved in it, and then from there go looting. That was Tuna. The Tuna Team 6 got absolutely ejected from the tournament by E-Zone in that moment.
Yeah, I think, again, they approached it really, really well. They knew immediately off the spawn points. Again, this has been that methodical team. We heard them talk about it, where it is like, hey, we know exactly what we want to do. We know that there's only 1 of 3 spawn points here, so we're going to peek that angle. Immediately upon they get, they receive the information. They're like, yep, Our prep is paying off. There's a team that's going to rotate through here. Oh, no.
Waiting for it.
Yeah.
All right, nice air push. What are we? I don't know who we're watching, but he's playing well. Nice pre-fire on the hedge. I don't think he's ready for the elevator attack though. You know, he did. Well played.
Oh, what a shot!
What a shot.
Still one there though.
All right, so we got Devo, Team Squidward not having the best day, man. And this is Comeback Kids.
Dude, Comeback Kids have been on the receiving end of punishment. First, it was Endless, it was two times from Endless.
I think their fight their aggressive style of play is just not working in this lobby. It's too strong.
That is not the door I want to open.
Nope. Pass. I choose every other door. F for Tuna. Yeah, F's in the chat for Tuna. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, dude, I know they came in and we talked about the respect that we had. Like, there were some people that probably definitely got their accounts and are like, all right, we're going to do everything we can to boost these up. And there was a pretty large collective that chose not to do that.
Yep.
These guys, like Deadly and the Slob and the rest of the guys, like, they came in pretty blind to the situation. They knew they had the tokens. That was all they were going to use, which I respect. That goes back to, like, the gentleman's agreement, firm handshakes. We are going to make sure that we keep this competitive integrity type mentality and come in fresh like everybody else.
Oh,
good shots still coming out. Is able
What
to
an
drop
escape.
down, gets away with it. Couple entry. I don't think he got a knock though. Oh, he's got another team on the backside. He's got to be careful with this. Dude, what an aggressive play. Tries to swap out the pistol. Somehow he still isn't down yet.
Yep.
Healing up, able to use those support items. Can he find a way?
Oh!
He does. Is able to sustain that fight simply because of the operator selected, and it pays off.
Wow. Yeah, the speed of that heal cannot be understated, man. Good to see you too, Zephyr. Devo, the last man standing, I think, for his squad right now. Everything he can to hold off the push from Squidward. Yeah, I gotta get better at this jump ADS thing, man.
Dude, it's insane.
Oh,
no,
bad
the
timing!
timing!
Bad timing! Isn't it always like that?
Dude, it's just the way it goes.
Yep. Well, you came, you saw, and congratulations on the Tunas for fifth place.
Hey man, that's in the money.
Yeah. They got the cash. They're gonna get paid, bro.
You know, as much as we laugh and we enjoy about the current situation, right? Of the hey, you guys extracted. And you're like, that's what we're supposed to do, right? I'm like, 100%. You clutched up. You got fit.
Yep.
You did your
Big
job.
True. Big true. They made $600. Now the race continues to see who can get to the top of the boards. Let's see. We are currently following Kurai.
Or are we?
Or are we?
Mini
Yeah,
map
we are.
trick.
Yep.
Paid off.
The mini-map trip
Oh
is
no! What?
What?
Dude, what is the timing with this? This game
What?
is more chaotic than we ever expected. Like,
Endless
people are just
is
walking out of doors and clicking heads.
It's like they've all realized that Endless is just ridiculous. That was an amazing double. Who are they? Who is that up against? That is Voice. So that's Tropa.
Sudoku? Okay.
Tropa. Yeah.
He's still got to
Tropa
find the
got
third,
double
though. That's what he's trying to figure out. So with the smokes, that does actually give up a little bit of information on where he's coming from. So that should provide an opportunity. As we take a look at the replay, again, immediately out, clean shots, drops one, finds the other, re-engages, again, clean shots again.
Wow.
Well played by
You know,
Cry. His
he killed-
shots
he
and his
killed-
spray transfer, man, has been so good.
He killed both of them and the railing. That was
Yeah.
insane. So they're
Never
gonna go ahead
stood
and
a
get-
chance, man.
No, the railing particularly. I wouldn't say clean shots, but they killed them.
I'm just saying, like, clean shots based upon the elite token that he had to utilize, you know? Like, obviously these aren't fully, like, kitted and attached like the way they would normally.
Yeah, they are ones. If you're watching and you're trying to keep track, if it's pluses, they're resable. If it's X's, they're dead. If they are, it's a running symbol, they've left the map.
He's repair that helmet too.
But he wishes he could.
Yeah.
All right, so that is... How many endlesses do we have left? Still 3. Okay, 3 endless. Who are currently sitting in first significantly. I think it really comes down to, do we see E-Zone pulling in a huge game on this one?
Yeah, I think the main focus is E-Zone. Obviously, they had that early wipe. Again, F and Chad for Tuna. Much love to those guys putting on a valiant attempt. But
that's the one team they didn't want to.
Oh god, if anybody to face right away, it's the guys that are like, pushes up glasses. We know that if you like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if the spawn happens in the first 13 seconds.
Which again, like to go through that effort, man, crazy. I'm glad it's paying off.
I respect it.
Cool.
Love oranges, love purples. How is he moving to loot things while also searching his... That's next level.
Can you imagine trying to do that in real life? Like, I'm tripping over my shoelaces and I'm falling down those stairs so hard.
It's like me trying to get my kids on the bus in the morning. 2.8 million right now on A squad. Which squad I'm yet to figure out, but I'm working on that. All right,
so this is B squad. It's not Karai for once. That's cool. That's cool.
That is nice.
I wonder if this is actually Team Squidward or if it's fake Team Squidward.
Last team, yeah. Held, since you just got here, there's no one's technically a pro player yet because it's the first time we've paid them to play. But these guys are technically now. But they are excellent. They're very well skilled, and they don't have purples and oranges because they had to use elite tickets in this event. So that's why you're seeing purple gear, blue ammo, or blue gear and purple ammo. Which I think is a really cool idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I wish there was a mode where I could just sign up for that.
That would be like if everybody can come in just fully kitted and like.
No, yeah, well, that's what the system is. But I think it'd be really cool if there was a queue for only like elite, like a ticket queue. You know what I mean?
True. I know they've done that in like previous BR games too, where it's like, hey, you've won a bunch, and by winning, you unlock like this extra ticket, and then you have to spend that ticket to then queue into this higher like tier, and that's how they like created the hierarchy of like, hey, you're in the pro queue.
I see what you're saying.
And then rewards and skins and stuff that dropped were better. It was a pretty cool system.
I just like when everybody enters the match on the same rough playing field, gear-wise.
Hey, man, life's not fair sometimes, okay?
No, I'm gonna say it's fair, but I think you should occasionally choose a test your strength mode, you know?
Choose your own adventure is what you're getting instead.
Listen, I'm dealing with you basic with Dirozam basic guys coming in with orange gear, right? So
just be better, man.
Bear with me.
It's clearly a skill issue.
Just be better. It is. I need a better chair.
All right, we already talked about your RBG chair. It's coming soon.
It's coming soon. I know. I wish it was. I got this old thing with the. Do you know? I feel so. It feels like high school over again. You know when your chair rips right under the thigh and you just put duct tape on it for like 3 years? We're on the 3rd year of the duct tape and it's becoming a real problem.
That sounds like a crazy chapter of a book. 3rd year of the duct tape.
3rd year of the duct tape. It's true though. And chairs are just so dang expensive. I can't convince myself to do it. Chairs.
Dude, that's the first thing to make yourself better though. They talk about needing RGBs for FPS and a gaming chair. That guy's just got a better gaming chair. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. He has a better gaming chair. If that's the case, get me on. Someone get Hernan Miller on the phone for me. Yeah, I saw that, Gelly. I saw that confirmed as well, and I'm pretty excited about they're putting a gear cap on Basic Zero, or Easy, so that'll be really cool. I think it makes it more accessible. So good. Honestly, guys, if you're interested in the game and you're enjoying what you're seeing and you're new, welcome. And go download the game. It's free. You can get on the Discord to find groups and hang out and learn stuff. And more importantly, there's new seasons, there's new ads, there's new stuff coming in January to make the new user experience, I think, much more fun, as well as add a lot of fun stuff for old hat players who've been here for a while.
Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, like, this is a community tournament for both myself and Toffees. We are here to have fun. We're here to entertain. We're here to enjoy ourselves. Like, we have no skin in the game. We don't care who wins in the grand scheme of things. We're here for the fun narratives and stuff. So whether you were a team that got, you know, fragged out real early, you still gave us entertainment. It was a fun moment for all of us. So we seriously just appreciate the fact that all these people are going out of their way to sign up and play and compete for our benefit. Like, without the competitors, we don't have anything. That applies to also the guys in the background. Production team working diligently, 2 shows a day with no breaks, just sending it. Like, there's a lot of conversation of how it takes a village to put these things together, and we can't do anything without the IP of Delta Force actually giving us a private client to play on, and the competitors actually signing up and playing. So much love to everybody, and thanks to all you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. It means the world.
It does. Also, I think your idea of making a chair completely out of duct tape is genius. Could never break.
Would that even be comfy?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how you make it, right?
And how much duct tape are we talking?
All the duct tape. People make dresses out of it, though, right? Ooh. There was like a scholarship for that back in the day. There was an EU tournament earlier. This is our North America's tournament. And it's our last match if you guys are just joining us. Right now, we do have one team, Endless, that's heavily in the lead. But there are a couple, E-Zone in particular, that would like to catch back up to him off a big game. E-Zone's at 2.9 right now, so if they can wipe a team and loot them, they might actually be back in this hunt. E-Zone playing very careful as they move through the spot. You can hear that gate. All of these players have signed up in NA. That's all that matters.
Pretty tough fight, too, based on the extraction point.
Ooh, I like this grenade.
I don't know.
Smells like a cook.
The speed of getting cooked. Wow. Gotta be careful on that peak.
Right?
And didn't get any damage on Darkin. Maybe a little bit. He's healing up.
I mean, I think the grenade was meant to allow him to peek without getting re-peeked, and it just didn't quite work.
Again, I mean, credit over to where it's due. Good coordination from, again, E-Zone, where he's like, hey, I'm going to cover your angle on the left. A lot of noise being made. We do have Voiding the guys here from Tropa just outside. So curious if they'll push in or not.
That would be interesting. I would like action.
No way.
And that's what it sounds like from far away. Ooh, bad boy peek. He's bad.
Oh, come on. Just do it, man.
Doing it.
Do it.
Do it.
Doesn't have a lot of ammo left.
Oh, okay. I love seeing them play with purple ammo. All right, there's one knock over there. Nice smoke. Oh, great smoke. He jumped over. Oh, yes! Nice play by Light. There's a wraparound. He's trying to follow up. Gets the flush.
Another.
Nice.
There's one more to go. Well played again. E-Zone being confident. That's such a good smoke to start the engagement. They coordinate it well. Yep. Ends up being the flank, cleans it up. Again, that's a lot of confidence in your teammates, too, to trust them to take that 1v1 solo on that flank.
Yep. Purple ammo is the people's ammo. Here he comes. So he gets the smoke, sees him jump over, skies him. He knew he would do it. He was waiting. And comes through, gets a nice double to finish that up. That was a huge pinch. E-Zone's comms. I would kill to get a copy of their comms. I'll bet they're awesome.
They just always seem to be in sync, man. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's
that
definitely
push...
a coordination that these guys have been probably playing together for quite a while.
Well, they seem like the kind of team that like they play a match and then sit down and watch the VOD back kind of thing, like in pubs. Like that's just the vibe you got was like we're treating it like a science. Oh, Squidward, Sing Sing, having a great time at the elevator.
I think he's just dancing for the camera. He knows it's there.
Hello. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I am a friendly scab.
Yeah. He's acting like an NPC.
Do not shoot me. I hear his feet. It's his friend's feet. I know Justice. I know Justice. Oh, easy perp. Too big. I think those solar panels look beautiful and tiny when you open the box. Then you put them in your inventory. You're like, never mind.
Right.
Yeah, diamond would be epic to see here.
Yeah, what'd you get?
Wow, they're up to 4.5 mil. With 12 minutes left and only one full team besides them left on the map, E-Zone could maybe pull this off. They know they need
It's going to be close, man.
Well, the thing is, they came into it knowing exactly what they have to loot, right? Like, that's the benefit of the last game is, like, they know the exact number they need to walk away with this win.
Oh, that's a cheeky transition.
Yeah, can we see a replay on that jump again?
Yeah, so he goes on the banister to get the extra height, and then it boosts him up so he can get that ledge so he can pull himself up.
Yeah, we all need it. All of us are like, could you run that back, please?
Yeah. What did you just do? What was that?
Somebody did do his homework, and now let's watch it again so that we can all not have to do our homework but get the benefits.
Yep. All right, everybody, we're gonna make an announcement as soon as we get it.
Entire chat, run it back. Oh, that's hilarious. Meanwhile, Kurai stares at a safe.
You know what'd be really cool is if like they could see like a flying drone with like the red light saying that they're being recorded, so they know when they're being spectated.
Yep, that'd be cool. There's another game that came out that has that, but it's terrible. They actually put it in the game. Well, they put it in the game, so like you can see the drone fly up to somebody and know that there's someone behind the tree.
Dude, I want it so bad. Like, I think it would be so. I legitimately think it would be so cool that like you're playing in a BR and like you definitely get that like breaking the fourth wall, where like, hey man, the camera's watching. Like the drone's over there. You can see the red light. I'm like, dude, watch this. you just go off and go for a clip.
See, I think we added that in PUBG but it's a sound on Discord, so the players stop saying things that'll get them canned.
Yeah.
But they do. Once they know, like, oh, we're being filmed, their gameplay, like, totally changes.
Oh, 100%. It's like the new gen version of Do It for the Vine.
So right now, for what it's worth, Kurai was the last member of Endless, who is our #1 team right now with a pretty dominant position. He is still on the map, and he is playing sort of loot, kind of slow, but I think part of that is just maybe being a spoiler for the only team that can stop them, which is what we're going to be looking at here. We have Team Squidward, which I think was it like 2 million going into this one.
Yeah, they're like 1.8, 1.9.
1.8, E-Zone was like 2.2 or something like that. So both of these teams that are left at full strength need to walk out with north of 6 or 7 million to have a shot. And so he's chilling. He's like, man, if I can just wait around and like ruin one of these teams, that ups our chances of taking home the big money. Because the fall off on the prize pool is for you guys at home: 3,000 for first, 2,000 for second, 1,400 for third, 800 for fourth, 600 for fifth, and a whole lot of nada for last place, which will sadly be the comeback kids. But I hope they live for their name and show up for season 2.
What a comeback that would be, right?
Right? Exactly.
And we had so much action at the beginning. Now everybody, I think, is just rightfully so overly cautious. Like, they're going to roll up to these if the boxes are still there, which I doubt. Oh, yeah, they are. So they're going to be like, what happened here?
That's a good safeguard, Howl. I didn't realize they had that in the game. If you make it into a key card room without using the key card, the safes won't open for you. They open but don't spawn loot. Fair enough. Okay. It's, you know, we've all seen some of the marked room problems, so this is a nice little fix. All right, so now we're down to 2 teams trying to get everything they can. As you look at the map, you're going to see a couple of teams scattered about. Those are the dead bodies of those who came before. So no one under immediate threat at the moment.
This should get things going, though.
Yep. All right. The time has come.
Oh, God. I just went out in the crossfire. Flushes him down. All right, Vane, what do you got for us, man?
Okay.
No way are you going to loot that. Definitely not going to loot that now.
Ballsy, dude.
Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
is he going to be able to peek this? So he can hold this angle, and his teammates should actually be able to loot that if he wants to.
I think that's what they just were trying to get that 1 or 2 items off of him, I guess. I thought carry the body too.
So Howitz is going to get the loot. Singh, really good job pushing up and covering that too.
Take that body to a safe spot.
Yep. I'll loot
There
that
you
body.
go. There we go.
All right, we finally found our GPU for our computer we're building. Heck yeah.
Right. We got all the parts. Got some purple ammo, a couple nice little things here. All right, all right. Oh, well, that's a fun see no evil, hear no evil kind of loot system. Stacking up for loot. 100% what they're doing. Now, E-Zone walked away from that. They know that they have to get... that might have been the end for them. They had north of 5 point something, and that losing him
it was
dropped
such a
to 3.8.
tank, man. It was such a tank. I mean, you see a lot of people in chat also giving a lot of credit. Vane's movement in particular has just been impeccable. Like he's very comfortable with his engagements. You even saw him in that. He had that 1v1 earlier in the game too, where he was able to re-engage multiple times because of literally the operator he was. He was stimming himself and getting his health back. So the other person who's just trying to hold an angle, and he's like, I'm gonna just keep re-peeking until I dwindle you down. And it's been pretty great.
You know, E-Zone won the fight before the tuna backstab, right? Earlier? Yeah. Okay. That would have been their lootsies.
At the same time, like the reason why it was so much before Endless got out with it was because the tuna and the guys, like they clutched up what was 6 bodies and then
bounced.
Yep.
I mean, had they been 40 seconds later, they would have had the full 3 reses from E-Zone.
Yeah,
a totally different ballgame. So like, it's but that's part of extraction. Like that's also one of those things. Like if you're playing and you find yourself dying a lot one day or having bad whatever, you know what? Go play some large scale combat. Take a break, come back, because at the end of the day, like this game is timing, man. Sometimes you get a sniper boss who doesn't let you out of their sight. You get a bad rotation time. You get trapped by another team. Come back in an hour and it's a totally different game.
What could have been, right? Like when we interviewed Darkin, he was talking about, he's like, we knew there was 4 teams. Like we heard shots, we knew that there was 4 different, angles that were being covered, and they still decided to be aggressive on that push. Like, I think there has to be that decisiveness of, hey, we're gonna get 3rd, let alone 4th party. We might as well wipe and be able to defend ourselves. But timing wise, like you said, tuna backstab 101. I guess just all gas, no brakes, right?
Ain't that the truth? All right, so Vane, last man standing, he's gonna go for it. Oh, I like that, the cheeky, just in case he keeps running lead shot. Well, I guess that's not an option anymore. Endless got to be feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah. I mean, Kirai's been just roaming for, I think, legitimately like 10 minutes.
I think he's, well, he should have, he should have.
He's got a milli.
Yeah. He's got 2 dog tags, I think, too. He's been hitting all these boxes, so. What are you guys doing? Ah, that's right. They got held off of their extract. Ezo, how do you get out? What do you do? Both Squidward and Ezone are in the hunt. If they force the fight and one of them goes down, the other one wins the tournament.
No pressure, guys.
Well, I'm saying, but if they wait too long and there's no time to loot, neither one wins. Because right now, if either of them transferred their total inventory to the other team, it would, I think, be almost enough. It would be enough to catch and take first.
I don't know if they're gonna have the space to be able to do that with the 2 of them anyway. But
that's fair.
No way. All right, here we go, man. The final engagement and probably the biggest one of the game. It's Squidward trying to fend off.
Come on, Squiddy.
One up against E-Zone as well. It's such an aggressive push. That one's already down. If they can find a way to get the knock, gonna have to disengage.
Big grenades. Oh, I like that aggression.
Oh, they've got a counter push. They're actually gonna get. Oh, we couldn't find him behind the stairs. Hey, be careful of that wide push. That angle is gonna be detrimental.
He's on. He's on. Good smoke. Ooh.
I love the
nice
re-peek.
spray.
What a play by Vayne. Again, you take the damage, you're a little worried about it, but now he's actually in a clutch 1v2. That is going to do it.
They don't have time to loot him, though. They don't have time to get everybody up. Just going to have to leave with what he's got.
Oh, that's absolutely crazy. What an ending, man.
Sheesh. What a ride that was. So it does come to an end. I'm pretty sure Endless is our winners, but we're not going to call it like it is. The battle is going to be who walked away with second place, how much of that million actually got out during the extract after that fight. Because I think it was like 3.9 they had in their inventory, but 2 guys went down. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure how that extract's going to work. We'll have the information for you. Welcome back. My name is Tavies. This is Lawler. We got an interview possibly coming. We got a scoreboard. We're going to walk you through the wins, but that is officially the end of our first ever community tournament for operations with Delta Force. You got to see the observation client for the first time. You got to see a new rank and growth of pro players. You got to see a totally new meta evolve. What did you think, Adam? What's your takeaway?
Dude, it was sick, man. I think Operation, like, I do definitely prefer the run and gun. I like the warfare more so in my general preference of playstyle. But I think Operation just has that strategic type of style that really, like, scratches that itch. Like, it definitely enables such a good strategy. Like, we saw, like, players like Comeback Kids, super aggressive in the semis and just, unfortunately, didn't stack up here. They just were on the receiving end of some of these guys that know how to jump and shoot better, I guess. I don't know, but the other side of it and the way that these guys have approached the game is like holding these angles. There's still such really good engaging fights. Even that very last one we saw at the tail end of these highlights we'll probably get, where Vayne is 1v2ing on that wide angle despite the smoke. Like, you're getting a good mix of utility, a good mix of like just landing your shots, but then still so much strategy that wraps it all together with a pretty bow. It's fantastic, dude. I absolutely love it.
I absolutely. I mean, like, I love Extraction. I've really enjoyed having an observer client on an Extraction game. I think you made a joke earlier about how much fun this would be to have, you know, a massive event where it's just a couple of, we get to just watch all of the different lobbies, move between them, have some sideline reporters, and just watch the best in the business play Extraction, because that's what we got to see here today with most of the teams. And it was a privilege, I think. I think we learned some stuff. I don't know how many of us are going to go back and watch that VOD to figure out how to do that jump transfer we saw earlier. But I bet it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm already, like, scraping through the VOD right now, being like, all right, where was that timestamp?
Right? We should have written that down.
No.
Why
Yeah,
we
man,
don't write
I think,
things?
again, the event, like this last fight, we talked about how much is on the line between E-Zone and Squidward. Like, the fact that they trade, like, you even see this re-peek from Dark, and he's just like, dude, where is he? And he's just prone perfectly on the steps, so he's out of sight, which, like, may be unintentional, but then you get the wide peek from the smoke. You even see him push up, ADSing, knowing not to, you know, engage too hard on it, and just clutches it out. It's just,
all right.
It was such a big deal for them to be able to do that. It was absolutely fantastic.
Results. So It looks like the end of that. Oh, sorry. I thought it was overall results. I didn't mean to cut you off. But for this game, Tuna Team 6 goes down first. Not a big surprise. Tropa falls as well. Comeback Kids has not been able to put two of anything together in this finals, which is kind of a bummer because we saw some really cool fights from them. Even in this event, we saw some really cool fights. They ran afoul of Endless too many times, Adam.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. Like sometimes, and that's why I think you and I are both excited to see these again. And as the scene develops, as we start to see this pro tournament come to play, as we do get our grand final results for our top 3 here, we saw it from E-Zone. Like, although they're not walking away with anything because they couldn't extract in time, 9 kills, killing a majority of the lobby. The other half being taken down by Squidward, man. Like, It was cutthroat as heck. Endless still able to get out some. They did have Kurai, who's trying to roam and see if he could find some ways to play spoiler, but for the most part, Skirna's wins, and it is going to be Team Squidward in the end that walks away with the most.
They walk away with that, that big 4. They weren't unable to loot a lot of those kills to try to get themselves pushed up a little bit higher, so we will see kind of what the battle is for second, I think, after that one. We will give shout out. I mean, that game, I think Prakash for me was the all-star, with the exception of our sniper boss, Demoulin. On Space City 3. The 2 Prakashes were both very exciting.
The 4K was crazy.
That was insane. We dream of sniping like that, and then rolling. I can't even roll like that if I wanted to. That was wild.
Dude, crazy
that was
stuff
fun to
all
watch,
together, man.
Also, the drone just blasting the bodies of the dead for 4 minutes straight.
Dude, that tank or whatever that is literally just shooting and smoking the entire time. I'm like, dude, he's been dead for 10 minutes. Leave him alone.
All right, grand finals. It is the official positions. Comeback Kids will walk away with nothing, maybe a little wounded ego, but I want to give a shout out to them. They played so well. I hope to see them come back because they were exciting to watch. Tuna Team, our special guests, are going to come away with 5th place and $600 to go with it. Tropa is going to get themselves a 4th place with $800. So not a bad turnout for these 3 teams, but the big money is on the next slide and the battle. The question is, who ended up in 2nd? Who ended up in 3rd? Because it was close, and it is going to be E-Zone in 3rd place with $2.5 million, taking home $1,400. 2nd place goes to Team Squidward, $3.1 million and $2,000, and the winners, Endless, walks away with a whopping $8.5+ million in valuation and $3,000 in their pockets, Adam.
Now we got to talk about that 2nd and 3rd place fight to end the entire tournament. And the reality is, if Vayne does not take that wide peak in 1v2, they're taking 3rd place. So an absolutely clutch factor. I'm sure the teammates are extremely ecstatic to hear and notice those merits are definitely paying off. So while we got to see it from an entertaining perspective, it actually made the difference for them for 2nd place. So a lot to hang your head on. That's got to feel good. Confidence in what felt like almost like a captain role. But everybody absolutely crucial in their involvement. Man, what a way to end the tourney.
Yep, and a $600 wide peak. You got to respect that. You got to love it. So we are gonna check in. It looks like we're gonna check in with the manager from Endless. Liquids is gonna join us for an interview, give us some insight into his team. Welcome, Liquids. Big day for the boys. How you feeling?
Pretty good. They had some good games today.
Yeah. All right, so give me some insights into them. They seem like they had a little bit of a different style of play. They were willing to play slow. They left a lot of laggers behind. What did your preparation for this tournament look like, and do you think that you executed that the way that you planned?
They definitely came in with a good plan. You know, they're just playing slow, they're just playing the objective, trying to farm as much money as possible, and they definitely executed the plan. So.
Yeah, I mean, overall for you guys, obviously, a win at the end of the day is what you guys want. It's what you get. But we've kind of been pushing this narrative and talking about it due to the help of everybody that we've talked with, expecting, like, not only is it a different approach to the game, it's something different. It's a new challenge, but it's just been enjoyable. It's been fun. It's something that is pushing us to kind of that next step of our gameplay. Obviously, you're seeing it from a more third-party perspective. Like, obviously, you're directly involved, but you get to kind of sit back and appreciate it for the widespread activity. From your perspective as a manager, what has it been like from your sake? Just getting to see these guys and hear their perspectives and what they're going through in the day-to-day and the game-to-game. Like, it is different when a tournament is spread over multiple days, let alone just show match, send it. So from your seat, getting to see this from a wide scope, take me through kind of the process.
That's a bundled. I don't know where to start with that one. I mean, obviously they were very excited to be a part of this, and they're looking forward to more tournaments as well. Obviously, these it's a lot different to pub stomping. You know, the pubs are kind of just, you just go in there, you know, you go through Mad Men and you just rinse and repeat, right? But this was a unique experience they, you know, haven't had before. So obviously, you know, it's just a ton of fun. And yeah, from my perspective, it was really cool to see these guys excited and communicating each other with, like, you know, ideas on what they should and shouldn't do and certain, you know, it was just really cool. It's like they were talking about the comps they came up with, the ideas they had, and then being able to execute it was really cool.
Were you able to listen to their comms the entire time? Were you in Discord?
Most of the comms. Today, I did miss out on a few, but yesterday I heard everything, or the day before I heard everything. It was really cool. So I was hoping for a good fight, actually, between them and Squidwards. That would have been really cool to see.
We did see a lot of good fights, especially up against they kept smashing the Comeback Kids, unfortunately, for Comeback. Can you give us some insight though into what their comms sound like? Are they super laid back? Are they aggressively loud? Is it chaotic?
Yeah, it's very calm but enthusiastic, like very motivated. But they keep it chill, very focused up. Specifically, January keeps them in line. It's good.
Okay.
Was that consistent throughout the entire tournament, or did it change as things got more stressful?
I don't think they were ever stressed. The most it ever got to was excitement, and yeah, you know, they're pretty calm and collective. So
on excitement, let me ask you: did you happen to be in there in game 2 when they found the 6 boxes full of loot on the way to the extract? And what were the reactions like if you were?
I wasn't there, sadly, but I was watching.
No.
That one was. It was. I know.
Okay,
it was really cool.
From your
They just ran
perspective,
into
then, what
6
was your
bodies.
reaction to it? Like, from your reaction, where you're
I
like,
was
"There's
blown
no
away.
way."
Yeah, it just they came up with 6.9 mil that game as well. It was insane.
Yeah, I think we were all blown away. You know, shout out. Maybe I think the boys owe like a drink or something to the Tunas next time that you guys see them, because that definitely helped that they got that wipe. But you know what? Endless deserved it. You guys played really well. You had some great late game things. Lawler, any last questions before we let Liquids go back to celebrate with the lads?
If you had to make one adjustment, or if there is one thing that you think could be improved, because we always want your guys' feedback, especially for the ones that are competing. If there's one thing you could pick, what would it be?
Relevancy in kills, for sure. You know, yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of different things I could have said there. Just, you know, just relevancy in kills. I think everybody wants to see PvP. Everybody wants to see, because specifically Space City, especially when they weren't allowed key cards, which I think was a big problem. You know, they're just gate kept, and if you get the rocket spawn, you kind of just automatically win if you just play it smart. So it's that would be the for sure kill relevancy.
Makes sense. We'll add that to the notes. The idea, maybe at least it's easy. Take a dog tag and just add an extra value to the dog tag. So it's something that we can definitely work on. Yeah. We've loved having you guys here. We've loved the first event. I do want to give you a chance to give any shout outs or any plugs for your team or for you guys that you'd like to do. The floor is yours as our champions.
Twitch TV Cujo. I think Cujo streams. I think he streamed the whole thing too. So about it.
Perfect. Thank you for also saying his name out loud for us so we could make sure that we got it right for the very first time. Cujo. I thought so. He was a mad dog.
We assumed, but we didn't want to assume.
Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by, Liquids. Deliver the message to the guys that we are very impressed and we loved watching them play. We hope to see you guys when we do this a second time.
Yeah, for sure. GG's. Thank you.
GG's. All right. So you saw the winner. You talked to his manager. His team is in chat. They're hyped. Everybody's stoked about how they did, and I think that we've set a path forward. Some good notes, some things that worked, some things that didn't, but most importantly, we had a good time, and the players did too, and I hope that you guys, if you're watching and had a good time, let us know, let Delta Force know, because we want to keep doing community tournaments. We want to keep pushing these guys forward. They deserve it.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at the top stats across the board as we kind of talk prophetically about this, but I do feel it is such a good early foundation for what this game could be. Like, obviously, there's always going to be that back to the drawing board type moment where it's like, okay, where can we assess? How can we make this more competitive? How can we still lean into what the vibe is of this event, but still make it to our competitive integrity? And like, there's not gatekeeping of certain styles or spawn points. And there's always going to be that balancing act, right? But at the same time, like, for you to say, yeah, we had a blast. All the players are like, this was super fun. This was incredible. We enjoyed it. Was like, they can't get enough of it. That is something special to be said about the game itself. The title itself, that is, as a reminder for everybody, free to play on Steam. Go download it. There's more content coming. But like, the big takeaway is that everybody had a blast. That's it. Like, that's all you need to say of why we should keep doing this.
All right, big shout out. Remember, there was that bonus cash for the top killer in the grand finals, as I understand it. So because of that, I think that's $200 that should be going to the pocket of Light. So while E-Zone did not win the event, they did get some extra position, and they will get a little extra cash for being the MVPs when it comes to getting those kills.
Dude, best way to describe that team, surgical, man. Watching them, they are like a true squad, coordinated, ready to go. It was absolutely fantastic to watch.
They're the kind of squad that if we keep doing this and you see like a long-term run-up for, you know, like the evolution of Delta Force as like sort of esport events, that I expect the E-Zone roster. Maybe they don't stay together. We don't know what happens in the long run, right? But like the way that they approach the game, that's what you start to see. Like, that's what'll take competitive to the next step. The sort of, because we saw 2 set pieces from E-Zone. No one else showed us set pieces. Those guys had spawn point set pieces to deal with teams that pushed them. And we saw multiple teams suffer because of that. We also saw set pieces as they entered the extract zones. That's why they got that double knock early on against Endless, who I think turned it around, but still beautiful plays. So I love that esports IQ is becoming a thing. Exciting, lots of fun. You've seen the winners, you've seen the MVPs. We're not done, because we're back tomorrow. We got EU, and me and Lawler are going to be here for the NA Grand Finals of Large Scale Battles. It's going to be awesome. Yesterday was so chaotic. Tomorrow's going to be even crazier because the players are just that good. Lawler, any thoughts on today? You want to looking back at this thing?
No, man. I think today, just as a collective, it really showcases what this game could be. And tomorrow we get to do it all over again in a totally different style, in a totally different game mode. Like, it just goes to show Delta Force is the game to play, man. It's absolutely fantastic.
I am dead tired, and we'll still go get a couple of rounds in because it's a great way to end the night. Thank you guys for spending the evening with us. I know it's the weekend. I know you got options. The fact that you're here with us means the world to everyone. I want to give a big shout out to all the players who put it on the line to be there, whether they invited teams or the qualified teams. They had to go out, they had to put up, and they sure did. So thank you to you guys for putting it all on the line. I also want to say thank you on behalf of myself, Lawler, the entire production team, and everyone at Delta Force. We love you for hanging out. And until we see you tomorrow, play more Delta Force.